do. We go out there and we mob, just steady mob.
Steady mob, their call to arms. And it's a credo that has brought the Oklahoma Sooners exactly where they expected, the top ranking in the BCS poll.
We didn't feel like we were playing like we were capable early, like we were advertised, and all the hype that was built around this defense, you know, being one of the best ever. And we didn't feel like we were playing as one of the best ever, and I thought you saw us come together in the Texas game.
Beginning with the Longhorns, who were allowed just 53 yards rushing, Oklahoma thoroughly steady mobbed 3 potent offenses in succession. Iowa State totaled a mere 5 first downs and 3 points. And last week, Colorado just 11 points, thus preserving Oklahoma's run at an undefeated season.
We prepare extremely well. That's what kind of gives us the edge, I feel, as well as we prepare and hard as we practice. We take no one lightly, and people that take us lightly find out that we're not to be taken lightly.
So while the present has been satisfying, co-defensive coordinators Mike Stoops and Brent Venables use memories of the not-too-distant past as a means of motivation.
Oklahoma State humbled us last year. We already had aspirations with like Big 12 tickets, and Oklahoma State just shot it all down right there. And that tells you every Saturday you got to be ready to play, because it's not promised what can happen every game.
They play extremely hard for us and one another, and I think that's the ultimate show of respect.
You bleed and you sweat with these guys, your teammates. I mean, these are like brothers to me. Every down, you take it personal that every man's going to secure his gap. We play as a team, an unselfish defense, and big things come out of that.
I can speak for Tommy and that I know he's a team player, and you know he'd rather get he'd rather get double teamed all day than have 50 tackles and lose it.
We have a lot of unselfish players. The humility that they show for one another, I think, is truly overwhelming. It reminds me of the team when you saw the emergence of a Roy Williams, a Rocky Calmus, both players that a lot of people did not know about, but you saw those players emerge as the season went on. It's very similar to Brandon Everidge, to Teddy Lehman, to Tommy Harris, to Jimmy Wilkerson.
Remember those names and the qualities that make Sooner defense special.
Speed, power, determination.
Plus that little something extra that could carry them to the Fiesta Bowl.
Steady mobbing.
Steady Mob and Ice Cube would be proud. Now take a look at these numbers. They would be great against any teams, but these are against 3 ranked teams. These are against Chris Sims, Seneca Wallace, and Chris Brown. Points allowed, just over 12, 91 yards on the ground, and 124 yards through the air, and 10 takeaways. That's why Steady Mobbin might be headed towards a national championship. This is the Capital One Halftime Show.
Troops as they salute the former president, and the Aggies of Texas A&M getting ready to address the #2 team in the country. Under R.C. Slocum in 14 years, they've won 86% of their games here at Kyle Field. They hope that they can improve that percentage today, but what a task at hand they have. The #2 ranked team in the country, the #1 ranked team in the BCS poll, the Oklahoma Sooners, one of the remaining undefeateds in here at Kyle Field, the home of the 12th man. Today in the Big 12, here's what has gone on and what continues to go on. Missouri giving Colorado fits. Texas has routed Baylor and shut them out. Nebraska doing the same to Kansas. Texas Tech leading Oklahoma State and Iowa State and Kansas will get together in an important game in the North coming up a little bit later on. That leaves us with this one, the Oklahoma Sooners, the Aggies of Texas A&M. Welcome to College Station, everybody. Brad Nessler and Bob Greasy, as always. And Bob, you know, you look at this team, Oklahoma coming in here 8-0. We just watched the Ohio State game. You got to be careful on the road when you're undefeated. But Bob Stoops told us this week that Sooner magic from 2000 seems to be with this team.
And they're playing in the toughest conference of all. And in my opinion, when you go on the road in a conference like this, what you want to do, you want to have the very best defense. And that's what they've got, in my opinion, the #1 defense in the country. And then take along a very good special teams where you can turn the ball over. And they have a very good special teams. Their offense is just average, but they don't turn it over. What you need on the road is good defense, good special teams, and that's what they got here today.
For Texas A&M, they're a banged-up club. They're missing 2 of their starters in the secondary, 1 of their starting wide receivers, and their normal starting tailback. Those are the negatives, but they have some positives on offense.
Well, don't look at what is not going to play. Let's look at who's going to be out there, and that's Bethel Johnson, an outstanding wide receiver. This is the strength of the A&M offense, and that's their wide receivers. And the guy that's getting the ball to him is Dustin Long, a redshirt sophomore who took over 7 games ago. In the last 6 games, since Dustin has been the quarterback, they have averaged 37 points a game. Not your normal A&M offense, but it's an offense that take care of their strength, and that is getting the ball to the wide receivers.
Our wide receivers, the 3rd man in our team. Let's head down to him. Lynn Swan. Swanee?
Well, thank you, Brad and Bob. Now, this is the time of the year where I think the most important thing a team can bring to the field is their attitude. Now, don't get alarmed. I do believe winning is the important thing. Oklahoma wants to stay undefeated for its national implications. A&M wants to get bowl eligible. But to get there, you've got to bring the right attitude. Oklahoma knows if they don't come in here fighting hard, they're going to give the Aggies life. They're going to feel confident. So they want to try and squash that right from the beginning with a ferocious defense and offensive attack. The Aggies on the other side, they know they belong in this ball game. They know they can play a better football game than they've played in the last couple of weeks. They want to bring it 100% this afternoon. Get the crowd into it. Get the confidence and bring the A game to the stadium. So Bob and Brad, attitude is going to be the key for both teams.
We'll find out who's got the most and who's got the best team as we get set in Big 12 action between the Aggies and the Sooners. We'll kick it when we come back. The 21st meeting between the Sooners and the Aggies. Oklahoma leads all time. Texas A&M records a good one at Kyle Field. That one loss was 2 years ago when they had Oklahoma on the ropes. Torrance Marshall bailed the Sooners out with a huge interception return for a touchdown, or their season might have gone by the boards en route to their national championship. It is hot for mid-November. 80 degrees, the winds gusting at times to 30 miles an hour. Sunny and windy. It might raise a little bit of havoc with some punts today, as well as some field goals. So we'll keep an eye on that.
And also the return guys trying to catch that football.
Exactly.
Going to be very difficult.
Bob Stoops, as Bob and I talked about, he says there's something about this team that reminds me of 2000. The same feelings there. He's never lost this year. And on the other side, R.C. Slocum, his record against Oklahoma and even 500. R.C.'s problem recently has been playing against top-ranked teams. They're 11-7 against ranked teams at home. And his team 5-4, having lost 3 on their home field. That almost never happens. They're usually about 6-0 here every year.
For sure. 3 losses in 1 year, that takes care of about 10 years around here.
Trey DiCarlo to kick. Terrence Thomas, Bethel Johnson are back deep to receive. 5 yards deep. Bethel Johnson will take a knee. And the Aggies will work from their own 20-yard line with Dustin Long. We saw him earlier this year against Virginia Tech, although they used a lot of Reggie McNeil in that game. But since that game, that's when their offense changed.
And what it does not show on that profile is he's got some speed, 4'6", and he is very mobile, so he can get outside the pocket and throw the football on the run.
The problem he faces, now the guys in the white jerseys and the crimson helmets on the other side are as good a defense as you'll find any place, any town. 3 wideouts to start the game. They give it off to Weber, and there's the defense I'm talking about. Immediate loss of 5, courtesy Tommy Harris. Our Nivea for men starting lineups. Here's the big fellas up front for the Aggies. Hightower, Yates, Hangartner, Whitley, and Alan Ruber in there today as a starter at right tackle for Andre Brooks, who's had a virus. Joe Weber starts in place of Derek Farmer. As I mentioned, they lose their starting tailback, Joseph. Porter's a tight end, Johnson and Thomas are wide receivers. And there's Joe, who lost 4 on his first carry. So back up to the 16-yard line. 2nd and 14. Long. It is almost intercepted. And it was Lance Mitchell, the rangy middle linebacker, that got back there to break it up. Here's the defense that we're talking about. You've already seen what Tommy Harris can do, raise havoc in a backfield with Wilkerson, Klein, and Jackson. The linebackers, Teddy Lehman's on the Butkus list. Mitchell's the leading tackler. Pasha Jackson, another junior college transfer. In the secondary, doesn't come much better than this group. Woolfolk, Everidge, who's been all over the field lately, Bassey, and Derek Strait on the other corner. And there's Mitchell, who leads the team in tackles.
And they're second in the nation in turnover margin with a plus 14, so they're looking to intercept every time you throw the football.
They got a 3-man rush here unless they blitz, and they may have jumped offside. Harris, I think, hit the center.
Got defense.
And it is a defensive penalty, and they'll walk off 5 against the Sooners. Make it a little bit easier. Still going to be 3rd down and long.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Al Dodden, our referee. And so Tommy Harris has taken almost 5 away, and then he gave 5 back right there with a penalty.
It makes it a little bit easier. 3rd and 9 is a lot easier than 3rd and 14.
So as they break the huddle, Porter goes out in a slot to the top of your screen. 2 wideouts there with him. 40% on the year on 3rd down conversions for the Aggies. Long all day to throw. Deep middle, there it is. And it's Porter on the run. And he's out to the 45-yard line, 1st down. He's the main man, a career high last week, 154 yards through the air, and he just ripped off a 24-yard reception there.
That's the game plan. That's the game plan, is to get the inside man, Porter, number 44, just to the inside of where I drew, in the center of the field. He's a 6'5", 230-pound wide receiver / tight end. He's a baseball player in the minor leagues. He has the best hands on the team. Big portion of the game plan right there today.
Those were his catches coming in. 39 now in the year. That's tops for any tight end in college football at this point. Now they go back to the ground game, and Weber spins his way for 4.
That 1st down they just picked up was a big pass for Dustin Long, and a big 1st down to keep the momentum and keep the ball field position. If you don't do anything worse on the rest of this drive, at least just punt it away.
They're already out near midfield at the 49-yard line. They stay with a 3 wide receiver set as Long looks over to the sideline, gets the call sent in by former starting quarterback Mark Ferris. There's the ranking, only 90th in the country in rushing, but uncharacteristically, as Bob said, way up there in the passing department. And he'll pass again, down the middle again, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Bethel Johnson. Johnson comes in as right now the #1 man all time in reception yardage, I should say, in a career for Texas A&M. 1,592 career receiving yards.
Favorite class is ballet.
That was Swanee's too, see?
Yeah, no, he and Swanee are just probably Swanee could teach him a few things about ballet, I guess.
Some of those demi-plays or whatever you call them.
Agility and poise.
There you go. And wisdom. Long to throw. And incomplete on 3rd down. And so as Bob said, if nothing else, it changes a bit the field position because they're going to have to kick it away.
Well, Oklahoma defensively said, hey, Dustin, you're not going to sit back there and pick us apart. They blitzed, the little zone blitz. They had more rushers than had blockers, and he just got rid of them.
Cody Skates, 2nd in the conference in punting. He's a good one. And he hangs one high in the air. Fair catch by Perkins, who lets it go, and the Aggies are going to have a play on it at the 3-yard line. Byron Jones will start in the secondary today on the special team. Downs a 48-yard punt at the 3.
Well, first of all, Yates is kicking into a pretty good win, as we mentioned at the opening. So the ball came straight down, and Jones was there. That's a huge, huge play. And the 1st down completion got him out of the hole, got the punt down. Now Oklahoma starts inside their own 5.
Nate Hibble, they're not booing him anymore in Norman. There's his numbers, 16-1 as a starter. I don't know how you can question that. Not always the prettiest, but he's been getting it done for 2 years. Tough spot to start, though, to the shotgun in your own end zone, but he wants to throw. And now he'll tuck it, get what he can, and he's bumped out of bounds. Whoops. And slips on the concrete there on the far side. Our Nivea for Men starting lineup for Oklahoma, the Big Eaters up front. And this was a group that wasn't so good last year, especially in the ground game, but they're getting better and better. Sims Davis, Carter Skinner, and Jamal Brown. Quentin Griffin, underrated, one of the best in the country. So is Trent Smith, the tight end. Savage, Fagan, and Clayton are the wide receivers. 2nd down and 6. Jamal Brown, he's got his hands full today with Ty Warren. And a quick opener for Quentin Griffin. And he squirts across the 10 out to about the 11-yard line. Still going to bring up a 3rd down and short. Defensively for A&M, Ty Warren, the guy I talked about, he had a whale of a game last time we were here against Virginia Tech. Jasmine and Smith round out the front 3. Linebacking core, Honeycutt, Gamble, Morris. Penwright leads them in sacks. In fact, he leads the conference in sacks. Jones starts at one corner, Sammy Davis at the other, and Keelan Jackson and Terrence Keel are the safeties.
One of the best defenses year after year. The Wrecking Crew. This year they've been a little bit off. They're only ranked 22nd in the nation. Yeah, that's right.
3rd and short. He didn't get it. Quentin Griffin is Kewan Jones rather all tangled up by the Wrecking Crew defense. That brings the crowd to life, and now tough spot for Oklahoma. They'll have to kick from their own end zone.
Well, Oklahoma on the road. What you want to do is just get into the game. Don't make any big mistakes. Get out there like a heavyweight boxing match. Just feel them out.
Yep.
Hit them a few times. You get hit a few times. Don't let anything bad happen.
So our second jab of the bout is coming up as Blake Ferguson will punt this one. This should give the Aggies good field position as Bethel Johnson waits at about his own 45-yard line. The Aggies not a bad group at blocking kicks either. Keep that in mind. Got the kick away. Not a good one at all. Lands at the 40-yard line and bounces out to the 44. That's great field position. Only a 32-yard punt. Aggies in good shape on offense when we come back. No score yet, but the Aggies now work at the Oklahoma 44. Quick pass out in the flat and incomplete. Intended for Bethel Johnson. Derek Strait was out there defensively on the corner.
A&M's first possession started from their own 20-yard line. This is their second possession. It starts from Oklahoma's 44. That's a difference of 36 yards they picked up by punting the football and also making a couple of first downs.
5 passes, 3 of them to Johnson, but he hasn't caught any yet. 2nd and 10. Long out of the shotgun, and he'll run on a quarterback draw through the middle, and he got a first down. As Bob said, good speed, and he's tough. And he goes straight ahead for a first down as we check in with John Saunders in New York.
We're at LSU against Kentucky. Kentucky down by 7. Jared Lorenzen, though, one pump fake and then goes deep. 44 yards to Aaron Boone for Boone, his 3rd touchdown reception of the day. It's tied at 27.
The round mound of touchdown goes deep.
Yeah.
First down here for the Aggies. Now at the Oklahoma 33-yard line. Back to an I backfield. And the give to Weber. Joe cuts outside, and that speed of that defense just won't let him get going. Andre Woolfolk, the corner, knocks him down.
One of the reasons this defense is so good is they don't have anybody that can't tackle. These are corners that are coming in and making the plays. Woolfolk could come in from the right side, number 17. Right there, he's out there covering, and now he says, oh, it's a run. I'll come in and I'll help the rest of our guys and make the tackle.
Joe Weber normally would be more of a fullback type. Derek Farmer has a little more movement to him, but he hasn't practiced all week, so Weber's the guy that'll see most of the action in the backfield. Long throws, intercepted. Coming back the other way is Perkins. His 4th pick of the year, and Perkins all the way out to the 45-yard line. Dustin Long makes the mistake. Perkins is one of those guys that could start for anybody else in the country. That's his 3rd interception, not his 4th of the year.
I don't think it was his mistake. I think the receiver went the wrong way. They had a little option going. They had a little option route going with the receiver, and the receiver went down to the out instead of breaking inside. You just saw it to the right.
And Bob, I'll agree with you 100%. I'm standing here on the sideline looking right at Greg Porter as he made that move, and it was a very weak, uncertain kind of move. So I think he should have turned inside.
After the quick turnover, let's see if the Sooners try to strike through the air. Nope. They'll go with that little sprint draw, but it's not going anywhere. Quentin Griffin, they got him all bottled up again.
But what is called, and Swanee knows, it's called an option route. They give a receiver an option to go down and break to the corner or to the post, and you both have to read it the same way, because the quarterback has to throw it before you break, and he has to know which way you're going to go. That's the trust that has to come in. Perkins is the dime back who was in there because they were in a big passing situation.
That's a 17th interception, by the way, of the year for Oklahoma. Now it's 2nd down and 10 from the gun. Hibble out in the flat, complete to his tight end Trent Smith. Smith is short of the first down by about a yard, I think. And there you see the official spotted exactly a yard short. Next Saturday, join us for a key Big 12 showdown. We'll bring you either Texas Tech, Nebraska, Kansas State, or Iowa State, Colorado, plus other regional action next Saturday at 2:30 Central right here on ABC Sports. People in the Big 10, you'll see Ohio State and Illinois. Check the local listings for the game in your area. Here it's 3rd down. A short yard. Kewan Jones, the short yardage expert, in at tailback. But the Sooners come up throwing. Complete out to Clayton, and he just barely got the first down. They only needed a yard. They got 2 on a pass play.
Well, that's really a safe play when you got one of your best receivers out there, and you got single coverage and you know it, and they're playing off of him. You just throw it out there and let him. You trust him to pick up some yardage.
And he had to do it with some extra effort there because Sammy Davis almost had him at the line of scrimmage.
Sammy got up in good shape when he saw the ball coming out, just couldn't shut him off.
40% of their total points coming off turnovers.
That's amazing. 40% of Oklahoma's points coming off the turnover.
Hibble wanted to go long. Now he comes up, goes to the short man, and this is only going to be about a yard gain to Trent Smith. Maybe no gain at all. Nice job defensively. Ty Warren, the defensive end, number 94, the last man getting helped up there, just sort of weaved his way over from his defensive end spot and made the stop. He's some kind of player.
He is, and as you mentioned, had a great game against Virginia Tech. Has had an ankle problem the last couple of weeks, but by no means the best defensive lineman on that team.
2nd down at 10. Quentin Griffin finally got a little gap to run through, and here he goes down the sideline. Griffin bumped out at about the 10. Doesn't get credit for his strength, doesn't really get credit for being fast. He's shifty, and he's going to be on his way to a 1,000-yard season. That's a pickup of 34, and he came in just 50 yards shy of 1,000.
And this is that draw play that is so very dangerous. You're going to see him right here. Now right there, the draw play. See the hole he's got there. He could go inside or outside, but it's just a little slow draw. They call it a smoke draw.
I don't know if we could show that very same play again, but Brad Davis, the guard, is the guy that got rolled up on. He is still down at the point of impact at the 49-yard line, right when he was making the block, and Grease was showing you how Quentin Griffin got through there. The block was courtesy of number 69. And you can see right there on the right of your screen, he's got a man rolled up on his knee and another guy hitting him high, and your body isn't made to go that way. And he's still down. We'll try to check out his condition. He's in a lot of pain, but his team is down at the 10-yard line when we come back.
We don't win this game. Our dreams are shattered. We're going to be number 1, baby.
ESPN's The Season brings you sports from a different angle.
That's a team right there, baby.
Close enough to feel the tension.
Go out there, beat Army.
Tense enough to feel the heat. Hot enough to explode.
You're killing us!
Thursday nights, Southern Fried Football.
Come on now, make it work.
Working out with the SEC. The Season, SEC Football. Midnight Eastern, Thursday nights on ESPN.
Brad Davis, they finally got him to the sideline. When we talked to offensive line coach and running game coordinator Kevin Wilson this week, we said, who's playing great on your offensive line? He said, Brad Davis is our man, and there's the man right there. You can see getting rolled up on from behind, hit on top. His right knee is the problem, and
sometimes those are a lot worse than they look.
That's a main cog in that offensive line for the Sooners, and they have stayed healthy with the exception of losing Jason White, their quarterback, pretty much all year. Nate Hibble has been the man the whole year because of that one. Here's Quentin Griffin inside. And Bob, you and Swanee and I talked with Bob Stoops about that very fact. In the year 2000, when they won the national title, they stayed healthy. And up until right now.
Exactly.
You know.
We mentioned that to Bob the other day, and we didn't mention Jason White. And he said, well, aside from Jason White, which was a big loss at the time, but the way Nate Hibble has come on and played, they've almost made him forget about Jason White. He's with the team and all that, but he's an important part. But until this injury here, almost all of the starters have started every game.
34 out of 40 in the red zone. You saw the percentage. Kewan Jones in there. He gets the call. He's a guy that knows how to smell the end zone, but he's not even going to sniff the 5-yard line here. Boy, on short yardage, the Aggies have come to play. And it's Ty Warren again, number 94.
Well, Bob and Brad, in the red zone, Oklahoma, of those 34 scores, only 8 have been by the air. And I talked to Chuck Long before the game, and he said, of those 8, probably 5 or 6 of them only come on 3rd down. He says throwing in the red zone is not their first choice.
They've got 3 wideouts, and Trent Smith, the tight end's in a slot. He's one of Hibble's favorite receivers. On 3rd and goal, out in the flat, Quentin Griffin on the run. Touchdown, Oklahoma. Just got in the corner, a 6-yard touchdown.
Nicely done.
For Quentin Griffin, receiving this year, that's his 2nd touchdown reception. His 8th touchdown of the year, the 40th of his career. So the Sooner fans that have made the 7-hour trek to College Station are happy. Trey DiCarlo, the freshman kicker, in for the point after. Right down the middle. So again, remember that all started with an interception by Perkins. They take it down the field, and on 3rd and goal, tuck it in the corner. 7-0 Sooners. Guy that's been on the end of a lot of Pontiac performance scoring drives in his career. Quentin Griffin on a 6-yard swing pass caps a 55-yard scoring drive in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Nate Hibble 4 for 4 on the drive. Nothing long, only 16 yards, but that's all they needed. Quentin Griffin had the 34-yard run that set him up. From the 8-yard line is Jason Carter. And Carter pops his way across the 20 out to about the 22-yard line.
Let's go back to the touchdown. Here's Griffin right here in the backfield. The receivers are going to go downfield, but the man that is going to catch the ball right here is Griffin out of the backfield. Now Hibble looks downfield, but look what he sees out here. Look at all this open area for his man to catch the ball and run. 129 career receptions. You think of Griffin only as a runner. He's caught 129, 5 touchdown passes, and the kid can block. He can pass protect. I mean,
he can do it everything.
He can do everything.
At the 23. First down for Long and the Aggies. Dustin 2 steps and a quick throw. And mackerel. Andre Woolfolk just said hello to Terrence Thomas. That hurts. Andre's even readjusting his headgear on that hit.
You know, whenever I talk to the coaches, the offensive and defensive coaches, like I would talk to the offensive coaches for A&M, Dino Babers and Kevin Sumlin and even R.C. Slocum. I said, give me some strengths and defense, the strengths and weaknesses of the Oklahoma defense. Well, there were a lot of strengths, but there weren't many weaknesses. You know, when a quarterback, I kind of like to analyze it. Where can I do some business? There weren't many weaknesses on this defense, or any.
Take the end around and come right up the middle. And Weber rips it off out to the 44-yard line. 19 yards for Joe, the senior, out of San Bernardino, California.
Weber's going to come right at you. Number 10 is Mitchell. Number 11 is Lehman, the 2 linebackers, and they get split right here.
Nice,
run right at him.
Nice run by Weber. Swanee, there's a reason he's even extra juiced, I think, for this game, isn't there?
Certainly is, Brad. His high school coach is here, and his running back coach said, you know, the high school coach can really fire up a player in the way that his own coaches here in college can't.
Here he comes again. And goes down at about the line of scrimmage. Teddy Lehman ran him down, as he will do to many a back. Lehman as fast a linebacker as there's maybe ever been. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
Hey, Bob and Brad, I just want to jump in here for a second. They're getting ready to take number 69, Brad Davis, off the field and into the locker room. They have him in kind of a wheelchair type device. They put a brace on his right leg. I am not certain if it's his knee. They do not give out medical information on the Oklahoma sideline, so I won't speculate. But the brace he has goes from his ankle to just below his knee.
That could be a good thing, that's for sure. Here's Long, and he throws this one away.
Throws it long. Good play by Justin outside the pocket. Nobody was open, and he was pressured. Just get rid of it.
Coming up on the Capital One halftime show, John Saunders will be along. John will have scores and highlights from all of today's big games, including the one that preceded us. Ohio State survives Old Purdue in West Lafayette to remain undefeated.
Just find a way. That was a great call. 4th down, Ohio State fakes the run into the line and throws it, 35 yards, I guess.
Big touchdown.
For the only touchdown of the game.
We have one touchdown. It's been Oklahoma's. Quentin Griffin, 7-0 here. Sooners with 4:16 remaining in the quarter. Here's a pass across the middle. Terrence Murphy, and it's Teddy Lehman again. Teddy Lehman is not human how fast he can run for how big he is.
He made an excellent play. He's a drop back middle linebacker that had crossing routes in front of him. A quick receiver caught the ball, and he got him and chased it down.
Teddy ran a 10,500 meters in high school. That's a little scary for a linebacker.
For a linebacker, yeah.
Here's the punt, and it bounces out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. So a little bit better field position to start with than what they had early in the ball game. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention. Marriott, where every business takes you, your Marriott awaits. The new Nokia 7210 with color screen. Nokia connecting people. And Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City, we're with you. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, and Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew with you from Kyle Field. There's that boot that they have from the lower foot up to the knee of Brad Davis that Swanee talked about. Here's the inside handoff. Quentin Griffin again, and Griffin gets about 5. Brian Gamble makes the stop defensively.
Watch the way the offensive linemen, they're all going to go this way to the right side. See him step to their right. Now he goes in, and he could have gone straight ahead, that big hole to the right, but he decided to cut back to the left. They get all the linemen blocking one way, and then they try and cut back against the grain.
Shotgun on 2nd down. Hibble. There's that little sprint draw, and it's Quentin Griffin who goes for a 1st down and has just become the first 1,000-yard rusher of the Bob Stoops era at Oklahoma. Of course, they've had great running backs over the years. The Greg Pruitts and the Billy Sims and the Steve Owens and all the rest. And now 1,004 for Quentin Griffin.
And you know, that, like we said, that's not all this kid does. Bob Stoops was saying how unselfish he was 3 years ago when he 8 weeks into his freshman season
gave up his red shirt
and came out just for the good of the team. So he's a 4th-year senior that, as we mentioned, he's already got 129 receptions as well as all the yards.
Bob Stoops says when you talk about Heisman Trophy, don't forget number 22. Hibble going deep and drops. Had a half step back there. Mark Clayton. Byron Jones was pretty much with him. Probably should have had it, though.
Well, he needed to get it out in front of him just a little bit more. If he would have thrown it more to the inside, I think he would have had it. Throw it away from the defensive back. Throw it more. See, you're giving a defensive back man time to catch up.
And Bob, he goes up for that pass. You notice where his hands were? Down around his stomach. Right there. If he goes up and goes for the ball at the higher point, he's got a chance to catch it cleaner before the defensive back comes over.
If he slows up and blocks the defensive guy off, you mean, yeah.
So 2nd down and 10. Here comes the draw the other way with Griffin again. And he gets out to the 29-yard line. Marcus Jasmine, the nose man, made first contact. Big part of the offense, number 22, but coming in, they don't really have to do anything all that well because their defense and special teams are so darn good.
That's exactly right. I mean, you know, the same old thing. Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. You know, just don't get us in trouble. And they don't approach it that way, for sure. They go out and try to score, and they do a nice job with their offense.
Hibble rearranges things on 3rd and 8. Back to throw, flush from the pocket, and down he goes. They track him down, and Keelan Jackson from the secondary got him. Loss of 9.
Keelan Jackson is playing in place of Appel, the free safety, who is out with an injury. Four-man rush. Initially, Penwright is 43 on the bottom right here.
Keelan Jackson's a late man into the group.
Yeah, he was in coverage in his back block, so he just came on the blitz.
Blake Ferguson now inside his own 10 to punt again. His first one was only 32 yards. Gets this one away, and much better kick. Carter has to backpedal and watch it go out of bounds, and it does at the 29-yard line. 49-yard kick for Ferguson that time. Well, Oklahoma, the #1 team in the BCS last week. That was their lead over Miami, and how dramatically it can change in 1 week. As you take a look at the BCS this week, Ohio State jumped in front of Miami. And Ohio State had a struggle today. Now you wonder what the pollsters will say about them. Where do they rank? That's all part of it, of course, along with the computer rankings and all the rest.
Got everybody talking about college football.
Reggie McNeil, that's for sure, including us. We spent about an hour talking about it in our meeting last night. Reggie McNeil, quarterback draw. Cuts outside, but he's run down by the pursuit. Derek Strait got out there, so did Jimmy Wilkerson from his defensive end spot.
This is a hotshot true freshman that was recruited out of the state of Texas. He was one of the top blue chippers, chose A&M, and the quarterback situation is very interesting. They had a 27-year-old guy by the name of Mark Ferris that started this season.
Right.
Then Dustin Long came in, and he was like the middle guy who started this game. Now they got this hotshot 18-year-old. How does Dustin Long feel in the middle of those two guys?
Yeah, no kidding. He's like the middle kid in the family. Second down along 7. Reggie to throw. Maybe. Nope, he won't. He'll run. And Teddy Lehman in the open field drags him down at the 36-yard line.
Now Reggie McNeil can run. But Teddy Lehman, the middle linebacker who you were talking about being the sprinter, he said, hey, I can run too, my man.
That's the end of one at Kyle Field. R.C. Slocum's troops are down by a touchdown. The Oklahoma Sooners with a 7-0 lead. ABC Sports presentation of college football will return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. We start the second quarter with the Aggies at their own 36-yard line. Reggie McNeil again wanted to run a quarterback draw, and that wasn't quite drawn up that way as far as Oklahoma's defense was concerned. They were all over it.
Well, they know they've got a young kid in there, and now the defensive coordinators Mike Stoops and Venables says, hey, we're going to do a little zone blitz on this kid. I don't think he can read this, so I don't think he's seen many of these, so let's get after him a little bit.
Dino Babers talking with Reggie McNeil on the sideline, and it's punting time for Cody Skates. Oh, boy.
Now with the win.
He hit this one.
With the win.
Might have hit it too good. Oh, did it go out? Nope, it hit the corner. What a great kick. Wow. Had it gone out by the pylon, it would have been perfect. Cody knows it. 67-yard punt. As Reveille looks on, ABC Sports presentation of college football. Brought to you by Chevy. The cars you can depend on, the cars that last. We'll be there. The people of Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles, and proud sponsor of the Heisman Trophy Award. And the Office of National Drug Control Policy. Parents, the anti-drug. Reveille was yipping through my billboards. She got a little thing going on today. It's a nice day down the field. She needs her water dish, though. It's hotter than we expected. That's a home dog advantage they got down there. First down at the 20. Flare out. Incomplete. Quentin Griffin got one hand on it, probably just as well that he dropped it. Oklahoma on their possessions so far today. They had to punt right away. They had terrible field position. Then they got a touchdown following Perkins' interception. They took it down 55 yards. Quentin Griffin put it in the end zone, and then were forced to punt on their last one as well. Kewan Jones checks in for Bob Stoops. Sooners into the backfield. Joined there by J.D. Runnels. Here's the toss to Kewan. Oh, man, was he met by Keelan Jackson. Keelan Jackson with a big hit. We go to New York for a hit from John Saunders.
Right, a bit of a strange play here. Washington State against Oregon. Jason Gesser is back. Goes right, left. Where's the ball? He loses it into the hands of Stephen Moore, who takes it 12 yards for the touchdown to tie the game at 7 apiece.
Kind of pulled a Winona Ryder on him there.
What was that?
He just stole the ball. Took it right in the dressing room for a touchdown. It's 3rd down and 11.
Hey, he had a movie contract.
Hibble to throw. Deep middle. Got him on the fly across the 40, and it's Will Peoples. And Keel makes the tackle, but it's a pickup of 24.
Peoples is their leading receiver. He's going to get to the middle of the field. He's out here on this side. Watch as he's going to come to the center of the field. They got him spread from the top of the screen to the bottom. Now right there in the middle, the one receiver clears out. He's clearing out, and this receiver comes right into the open area.
Hibble from the gun now on 1st down. Here's a little option for the first time today, and Nate will keep it. And he got to about the 45-yard line. Hibble's not a bad runner, and that's more of the offense that we probably would have seen had Jason White not gotten hurt earlier in the season.
White, a much better runner than, and very much more mobile than Nate, but that's not to say Nate can't run it.
Right.
And it's good that they throw that in, because it drives defensive coordinators mad to have to prepare for the option.
Penwright, who was part of the tackle and is one of the leading players on this defense, still face down for A&M. They can ill afford to lose him. We've got a timeout as we check on Penwright with 13:11 to go in the half. It's the Sooners by 7. Home of the 12th man, Kyle Field. You always got to be ready if called on. 2nd down and 8. Quentin Griffin broke free on his way down the sideline, out of bounds at the 35. And he slips down. As soon as you get off that field, there's that cement around the field, and Hibble's already hit the deck today, and Q goes down after a gain of 20.
Not many running backs in college football could have made this move. Little draw play. He goes all the way over the center and says, hey, no, that's no good. I sucked them all in there. Now I'm going to go all the way around the end.
I sure think he's got a little Barry Sanders in him, don't you?
I do, for sure. And what he has is quick feet and great vision.
And already 76 yards on the ground. 1st down at the 35. Hibble again in the spread. Plenty of time to throw deep down the middle. Got his man on the run, Trent Smith. And it is 1st and goal, Oklahoma.
Trent Smith is the tight end, was lined up at a wide receiver. He's 6'5", and just gets down the seam. There's a good shot of what Nate's looking at. Now, you don't look at your receiver, you look at the defensive backs. You know where the receiver is going to be. You just want to make sure that you throw it to the open area where he is going to get.
Trent's become a better blocker this year and a more complete tight end, but he can really stretch the field. Kewan Jones now on 1st down. Might have gotten 2 down to the 5.
That's a big-time throw.
And it should be no surprise, Brad and Bob, to fans of football that Oklahoma has to throw the ball on 1st down early, have to come up with some misdirection plays, because this Texas A&M defense is too good against the run. You cannot make a living just running the ball at them. So don't be surprised if Oklahoma doesn't come out here and elect to throw the ball on 2nd down as opposed to waiting to 3rd.
You're right, Swanee. That comes directly from the coaching staff. This is a very bright, aware staff. They do what they have to do.
8th play of the drive, toss to Kewan Jones, and he is just smothered. And again, Randall Webb and Keelan Jackson, and that's exactly what Swanee was talking about. They have found the running game to be hard for Oklahoma against this Aggie defense in those kind of situations.
And both of these guys are backups. Due to injuries, they're in the mix. But Webb, number 55, runs through right there. And Jackson is playing, as we said, for Appel, the free safety, who's out with an injury.
Key numbers for Nate Hibble, the number 3. On 3rd down, he's 3 for 3, 3 1st downs, 3 different receivers.
I like that.
Now it's 3rd and goal. Got a bunch of receivers, 3 of them to the right. He goes that way, complete, but immediately hit was Lance Donnelly, the tight end, and Oklahoma's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
That's good defense. That's just good defense. Being aware. They have 3 receivers bunched to the right, 2 of them crossed left. One of them hanging out to the right. Good coverage.
Trey DiCarlo will come in to attempt a 25-yard field goal. Remember, 2 years ago here, Oklahoma ran a fake field goal in a very similar situation and scored a touchdown.
You seem to a pretty good win.
DiCarlo from 25. And it's up and good. So Oklahoma tacks 3 more on, but the Aggie defense stiffened when it had to. 10-0. Oklahoma up 10-0 on the Aggies here at Kyle Field, and DiCarlo set to kick. Terrence Thomas and Jason Carter waiting on the other end. They're camped at about the 10-yard line, expecting a short kick. They have to backpedal a couple of steps to take it. Terrence Thomas from the 6, and he was met head-on before he got to the 20. Will Peoples on the stop. Monday night, Al Michaels and John Madden going to bring out the Yellow Blazers even for this one. Monday Night Football's historic 500 telecast. They got the league's most intense rivalry, and they'll reveal the game you selected as the greatest in Monday Night Football history so far, anyway. Raiders Broncos Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And there is one young Brian Greasy, 4-1 all time against Oakland. And here's his daddy.
Out of the backfield, touchdown. Hey, all right.
How about that?
I was talking to Brian the other night.
That was a Monday night game.
Yeah, it was.
One of your many touchdown passes on Monday Night Football.
I got to tell you about once playing the Raiders.
Okay. Here's a pass nowhere near the intended receiver, Keith Joseph.
You know, we've got a graphic we're look at here, but you know, we played. You know, I played in the league for 15 years, and the first year I was out, I was broadcasting. I was down in Miami. What is this here?
He's second only to Johnny U if the kid can keep it going.
Yeah.
That's good. Consecutive games with a touchdown pass.
Anyway, it was in the Orange Bowl. The Raiders were at the Dolphins. My first year out of football, I was broadcasting. And the day before, we always go and watch the team work out. Well, the Raiders are there working out, and Al Davis sees me, comes over. He says, "Hey, Bob, how you doing?" And Brian was with me. He was 7 years old, and I talked to him last night. He says, "Yeah, I remember that."
Here's McNeil in trouble. Flush down to the pocket's going to get a first down on the ground, and then some. Out to about the 37-yard line. To go back, though, that's not the only thing Al Davis said to you other than, "Hi, Bob, how are you?"
That's not the only thing he says. He says, "Well, how you doing?" All this. He says, "Bob, we were warming up, but when we start practicing, you got to leave." I said, "You're kidding." He said, "No, you got to leave."
Kicked you out of practice.
Brian remembers he kicked us out of practice. Now, this is Reggie McNeil playing is not because of Dustin Long, anything he did or didn't do. It just was kind of plan. They wanted to get him in the game and see if he could get something to do it and make the other team's defense prepare for his abilities.
At the 37-yard line, handoff. Weber, Joe on the inside. Nice run. And he got about 7 out to the 44-yard line. Time for our Aflac trivia question. Who made more appearances as a player on Monday Night Football, Bob Greasy or Lynn Swann? Wow.
Wow.
Now there's a tough one.
Boy, Bob, you and I could, we could collaborate here, Bob.
Yeah.
There'd be some more skullduggery going on between the two of you. Some more espionage. It's like Alias around here when you guys start talking about the Aflac trivia question. 2nd down and 3. Out of the spread. Reggie McNeil whistles. Take too much time.
Well, Brad,
you've lost me now. I'm going to start thinking about this question.
well, Brad and Bob, I do have some logic in my answer that I'll give you when you call for it at the appropriate time.
All right.
And it is weather related.
Okay, is that a hint?
Hey, you betcha.
Okay. So the penalty goes against the Aggies, and it forces 2nd down and 8. Back at the 39-yard line.
Those plays are signaled in to Reggie, and he looks down by number, looks down on his wristband for the corresponding play.
Here comes a blitz. McNeil loads and goes. Complete. Got a man on the run. Terrence Murphy. He's gone. Touchdown, Aggies. 61 yards, the longest play given up by the Oklahoma defense all year.
We mentioned the strength of this A&M offense was at wide receiver, and that's why they want to throw the ball more and get it out to the guys that can make some plays.
Todd Pegram in for the point after. Porter to hold. Aggies right back in the football game. And the extra point is no good. He hit the right upright and missed it. So they got the touchdown, but they missed the extra points. And with 8:25 remaining in the half, the Aggies on the board. They trail 10-6.
Young quarterback, watch McNeil right here. He's looking off the free safety Everidge. Now, he wants to throw the ball over to the right side. Look at him looking to the left. See him looking to the left? He holds the safety over there. Now, when he comes back up, when he throws the ball back to the right, the receiver is going to make a little curl in there, throw it in front of him. Splits it right there, in between the two receivers, and then goes with it.
Because of the wind, the ball came off the tee, and they're going to have to hold it now, and Cody Skates is going to kick off.
That was a little double zone, hitting behind straight the front guy and Everidge the back guy.
I can see why Cody Skates kicked off. He knocked it out of the back of the end zone. So Oklahoma will have to work at the 20-yard line, and that pass by Reggie McNeil. And Lynn Swan, that looked pretty familiar from Thursday's practice to me. I don't know about you.
Oh, it certainly was. You recall at practice, I caught a couple of his passes, and I was standing about that distance from him, and Reggie kind of lobbed those passes to me real soft. I walked up to him and said, you know, Reggie, in the game situation, we're covering the game. It's moments like this we'll report during the game and tell people whether you can wing it or fling it. So let me see what you got. And he flung that baby pretty hard.
He sure
on
did.
the line.
He had to, Swanee. As you know, in between those two defensive backs, you got to have something on it or the deep guy is going to get there.
By the way, the only one Swanee dropped was a duck that he tried to lob to him. Here's Quentin Griffin, and he only got about a yard.
You know, Brad, going into this game, looking at the two personalities of the teams, you would think that this would be a low-scoring game. Oklahoma, with that great defense, and the wrecking crew of A&M, they haven't been as sharp this year as in past, but they're still pretty darn good. RC has always had good defenses.
David Ross has come in for Ty Warren on the defense for the Aggies. 2nd down and 9 for Nate Hibbert. Quick throw, nice catch out in front of him by Trent Smith, and he got about 4 to the 25. We talked with R.C. Slocum a bit about being in a position to play a team as good as Oklahoma.
I think anytime you have a chance to play a team that's rated #1 in the nation, that in itself should be ample motivation for a football team. If you like challenges, if you like to play, having someone come into your stadium that is highly regarded as Oklahoma is, and I'd say it's justifiable. I think this is a very good football team we're playing, but that should bring out the best in a competitor.
Curtis Fagan got the first down catch out across the 35-yard line. And you know, the buzz in this stadium compared to what it was, let's say, an hour before kickoff, we just didn't feel it. But since they got that touchdown, it's back.
Yeah. And doing the little things too, like for instance, A&M has backed up Oklahoma. They've had the ball 5 times, and 4 times they've started at the 20 or worse. So when you make a good offense go the length of the field, that's pretty good.
Quentin Griffin again fires through, ran a little quick opener, and he got about 9 yards. He's so tough to tackle because he's so tough to find behind the big line. You know, Quentin's only about 5'7", 190 pounds. Bob Stoops says don't by any means think he's not strong just because he's short. But he goes out right now because their short yardage back comes in, and that's Kewan Jones.
Well, and they don't want to wear him down,
right?
Which is a smart thing. And they've got other backs. Let the other backs play some.
2nd down of the yard, just inside their own 45, and there is Kewan Jones. And he's got a first down, I think. As they spotted across the 46, that should be good enough. Keywater, a redshirt freshman who's had back-to-back games of over 80 yards on the ground as he spells Quentin Griffin. And now Quentin checks back into the backfield as they move it. The sticks out to the 47-yard line. 10-6 Oklahoma here in the second quarter, just under 6 minutes left in the half. Hibble in the shotgun with 3 wide receivers. Nate looking left all the way. Pumps once and then goes deep, and his receiver got tangled up, Peoples, and fell down. Incomplete. Next Saturday, join us for a key Big 12 showdown. We've got 3 choices on the menu for you. We're not quite sure what we're going to serve up yet. Texas, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Kansas State, or Iowa State, and Colorado at 3:30 Eastern. And in the Big 10, Ohio State and Illinois. Check the listings for the game in your area. College football on ABC. Second down and 10. Again, 3 receivers bunched to the top of your screen, and now the tight end comes in motion. Keep it on the ground, though. It's Quentin Griffin. And he got hit at about the line of scrimmage. Popped out for maybe 1. McDaniel hitting first. Ty Warren, who's back in there, cleaned up. And it brings up third down and long.
Here's a look at Joseph, the true freshman that's playing at right guard. He's spending half the time, split the time with Mike Skinner, the 5th-year senior. We got a lot of outstanding recruits over here at Oklahoma, and this kid, they say, is really going to be a good player.
Third down and 9. Hibble's only missed on 1 third down. That was the one when it was 3rd and goal, and he's going to have to call a timeout here. Didn't like the looks of his alignment, and we'll take a timeout with him with exactly 5 minutes remaining in the half. 10-6 Sooners out in front of the Aggies. Bob Stoops' team facing a third down and 9. On the 8th play of a drive, they're right around midfield. They lead by 4. 5:02 remaining in the half. And the Aggie defense of R.C. Slocum hoping to come up with a stop and get the football back so they can do something with it before the break. The entire Sooner offense went over to the sideline, and they trot back in mass. 3 wideouts for Hibble. Trent Smith, the tight end, slotted to the right side. Bad snap. Hibble scoops it up. Throws complete. Fagan's got it, and it's a first down inside the 40 to the 39.
That play didn't start off good with the bad snap, but Hibble made something out of nothing, because when you have to look down and pick the ball up, you take your eyes off of the defense. That was just a bad snap from the get-go by Carter. Then he throws back to the inside of the field. Could have had a little bit more on it. Maybe he could have had some running room.
Fagan's caught the last 2 on third down to keep the drive going at the 39-yard line. Here's a little quick opener. Griffin gets through it again, still on his feet.
He is slippery.
He is surely slippery down to the 25, a pickup of 14.
Take a look from behind the defense. The line working up there, double team block there on McDaniel.
Now find him if you can.
Yeah, he's just squirting. He's like a watermelon seed.
Over 100 yards for Quentin Griffin. Here he comes again. And believe it or not, he moved the pile and got considerable yardage on that one. So he's over 100 yards again. He's over 1,000 yards for the season. He's such a quiet kid. I love what Jamal Brown, the right tackle, said about him. He said, you know, Q says about 30 words a day, and 18 of them are thank you.
And then they say when he leaves here, nobody sees him.
That's right. Nobody ever sees him on campus.
No, they don't. He doesn't hang out anywhere. He doesn't go out. He just, nobody sees him.
They don't see him in the backfield either. That's the problem. Second down and 4. Here he comes again. This time he stood up in the hole by Brian Gamble, the middle linebacker. And it will bring up third down and short.
It's nice to say that about a college football player where, he doesn't get in any trouble. After when he goes there, you don't ever hear from him. You never see him. Rather than some of these things, you say, well, he's out drinking or partying or this or that.
Ty Warren down. Boy, and the big fella doesn't miss many plays.
Well, he had a bad ankle coming into the ball game.
And he is one of the best in college football as far as a defensive lineman. 3 minutes and 28 seconds remain in the half. 10-6 here at Kyle Field on a sunny day. We asked you earlier our Aflac trivia question. Who made more appearances as a player on Monday Night Football, Bob Greasy or Lynn Swann? Now that's as a player, because you mixed Swanee in there about all the times he was on the sideline, and that would have been unfair. I don't know. I'm supposed to go first this week. I don't know why I get a question like this to go first on.
You get to go first.
I get to go first. Knowing the skullduggery going on in the truck, as always, I'll say you both played the same amount of games, although I think you played a little earlier in your career, so maybe Swanee had a chance for more Monday night appearances. I don't know.
Yeah, you're politician.
I'm going to say you played the same amount. What are you going to say?
Well, I'm going to say, you know, Swan, the Steelers were good in the middle 70s. They had 4 championship teams, and they had a lot of them. I would have to say the Steelers, and I said Swanee.
Okay, Swanee, what do you guess?
Well, you know, I was thinking that Monday night always likes to be in the warm weather at the end of the year, so a Miami team would have more chances of being on. But I think, Bob, most of your career there were 12 games in the season, and I had 14 and 16.
Oh, that's a slap.
So, I mean, you know, I'm going to have to go with myself.
What's the
Although
answer?
I'm worried about your answer, Brad.
Bob Greasy and Lynn Swann each made 15 appearances on Monday Night Football. Third down. 12th play of the drive. Hibble out in the flat. It's complete, and it's a first down at the 10-yard line. Trent Smith, his tight end.
Well, he's
Talk about skullduggery here, Brad.
Oh, no.
Today, the Rams riding a 3-game winning streak. Come to Minneapolis. Happy holidays, everybody. Brad Nessler and Stu Voigt with you. With a cold and snow outside, the Vikings look to put the heat on Jim Everett and the Rams here in Minneapolis today and hope that Minnesota fans later.
I guess I did a few Monday night games too, huh? Monday Night Football's 500th game is Monday night. The Raiders and the Broncos. Yeah, those guys are all ready. Madden's my dad. Well, a little more John Size maybe, that guy there in the middle. David Ross makes a tackle. There they are. Oh boy.
Stark married me.
Al Michaels is my dad. Madden's my dad. And there's our Monday Night Football 500 group.
There you go.
Thanks, fellas, for all your help. A couple of those guys look like they could almost play. Today they're cheering their team on, but their team is down 10-6. Hibble in the shotgun. Down the middle of Fagan, caught it at the 5, and Gamble immediately leveled it. And it brings up third down and goal.
See, when you get down here, I like throwing the ball into the end zone. You know, I know people drop back 7, 8, 9 guys, and if they do, then you got to drop it off. But I like getting your receivers in the end zone and throwing the ball to them.
So third down and goal at the 5. Nate Hibble has a couple of words with Hal Dowden, the referee.
It's a good timeout. Let's go over and talk about it, get the best play possible, give our coaches time to think about it.
Going to use as much clock as they can here too before the 25-second clock expires. And there they take the timeout. Now they can head over to the sideline. And when we have a timeout here with 1:37, we got a chance to go to New York and John Saunders. John?
Right, everyone talking about Miami quarterback Ken Dorsey for the Heisman Award. Well, Willis McGahee is probably the best player on the team. Takes this from a yard out, pulls his way in. Miami looking to remain unbeaten on the road at Tennessee, 13-3.
So an undefeated up by 10 there, an undefeated up by 4 here.
There's only 3 undefeateds are playing today on the road. And
Ohio State already won.
Struggled, but won. And I'm not surprised that Miami is playing better. I mean, I think they were just put it on cruise control and on coast. They've been #1 for so long that sometimes you need a good challenge. And going to Tennessee gave them that.
Speaking of challenges, the Aflac questions have been challenging this week, and the scoreboard is changing. It's changing.
We don't. You know, you got too many. We were trying to be nice to you early on.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's not that many games left. You guys are going to have to put on a late season surge.
No, we got a second half trivia question for you, too.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that one doesn't really count, though.
And it will.
Our Pacific Life game summary in the ball game. Perkins' interception led to a 55-yard drive capped by that swing pass from Hibble to Quentin Griffin. And then the zip on the ball, Reggie McNeil. And on the run, Murphy for the touchdown, but they missed the extra point. Hit the right upright, kissed it off the right upright, and that's where we are right now with the exception of DeCarlo's 25-yard field goal. 10-6, Oklahoma in front in a hard-hitting defensive battle is kind of what we expected to see, and that's what we got. But Oklahoma's got a golden opportunity here. They don't want to waste it. And you know Bob Stoops, he wants 7. He doesn't want 3.
Oh, on the other side, big defensive stand here. If you could force him to try a field goal and go down only 13-6 rather than 17-6, that's a huge play. It's a big defensive series right here.
3rd and goal, 15th play of the Oklahoma drive at the Aggie 5. Hibble trying to get the snap. Lobs it in the corner. Fagan, did he get in? No. Did not get his feet down.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Good play call. Just didn't get it executed as well as they'd like to. Throw it to the back of the end zone. Enough teams don't try this. They don't throw it in the back of the end zone. I think you're going to see his foot is out.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Right now, the first foot is down.
Yep, left one's out, right one's out. Field goal unit is out as well.
Now watch it. You know,
this one.
They got tricks here.
Yeah, they got tricks.
Bob Stoops got lots of tricks. He pulled one of these earlier against Missouri.
And 2 years ago here against A&M. They'll kick it. 22 yards and they'll make it. So they just stay with the plan, trying to be solid, not make any mistakes. And they go up by 7 now. So DeCarlo's hit from 25 and 22. Coming up on the Capital One halftime show, John will be along. He'll have all the scores and highlights from today's big games. And there were some big ones again. Keep you posted on the ones that are still in progress as well.
You know, we're into November. November the 9th. There aren't many weeks left in the season. I think Ohio State only has 2 games left at Illinois and
Michigan game,
and then Michigan at home, including this game. Oklahoma has 5 games, including this one, before the end of the season, including the championship game if they reach that far. But they could have 5 games left before any talk about going to the championship.
And that's a normal half a season almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a long way to go.
A lot of football for Oklahoma yet to play.
Ty Warren, by the way, was carted off as well. Brad Davis of Oklahoma we saw leaving earlier, and they brought out a golf cart for Ty Warren to take him to the locker room.
How about Penwright? Have you seen him back?
He has come back in, yeah. Carlos' kick is short. Taken by one of the up men at about the 18-yard line and maybe out to the 22. And that was Archie McDaniel on the kick return. So now 1:24 remaining, and A&M has all of its timeouts. That last drive, by the way, for the 3 points for Oklahoma. 16 plays.
Huge drive.
They used almost 7 minutes, but had to settle for 3.
Well, that's the good news and the bad news. You had the ball, you took it, you held the ball away from your opponent, but you only came away with 3 points. McNeil's still the quarterback.
He'll be in the shotgun. They'll work from the 22-yard line. Terrence Murphy, the guy that caught the touchdown pass, is to his right. He's looking that way, and now he's going to try to take off with it. But he's all wrapped up by Corey Klein, one of the defensive tackles out of Tulsa. And there's Mark Ferris on the right with the baseball cap that Bob spoke of, the starting quarterback for 2 years here, and the guy with all the experience. And
he was 27 years old starting out the season, and the other kid, the young kid, is right here, the 18-year-old.
McNeil pulls it down. Reggie will run with it. Across the 30 and spinning out to the 35.
And that's what he brings to the table right there. He doesn't have the experience that Mark Ferris, the 27-year-old quarterback, does, but he's got the athletic ability and the surprise, you got something that nobody's got. I mean, if everything breaks down, I can just take off and run.
He got out to the 35-yard line, first down. Set to throw this time. Fires a little bit low. Did he make the catch? Yes. Nope. Wait a minute. Umpire says no. And he had a better view of it. Terrence Thomas was the intended receiver. It was delivered low. And Terrence isn't saying much about it. So
that's usually a dead giveaway.
That's a one-hopper.
That's skipped in there.
Yep. Boom.
That was good teamwork by the officials.
It sure was. One was screened from view, and the other one was right in the middle and could see it all. So brings up 2nd down and 10. McNeil lost in the pocket again, but throws to Murphy down the middle. Everidge got a big hit on him, but he got a 1st down out at the 49, almost midfield.
Reggie McNeil doing a nice job. He's run enough that if he scrambles around, they have to respect the ability that he might run again, and that opens up things in the secondary. Blitz.
Get rid of it, Reggie. And he does it. He got it complete at the 40. And Murphy was falling down. In fact, had fallen down. He still made the catch.
Yeah, well, he had to throw this ball long before Murphy made his move, so he just had to guess where he was going to be on that out route.
And Corey Klein popped him as soon as he let go of it, so it's a 1st down. Aggies still with time. 20 seconds left in the half. Out of the shotgun again. McNeil waiting. Finally going deep. Got Porter out there. Touchdown! What a catch!
What a throw!
The 12th man just woke up. "40-yard touchdown. At the last possible moment, McNeil let it go, and Porter made a sensational catch in the back of the end zone. Pegram to try to tie it. Pearson to try to tie it. And he barely tucks it in the right upright. Tie ball game. Let's take another look.
Reggie McNeil has just come in and put a shot under this crowd. The 12th man, as you said, Brad. Watch this. Everything's going to be covered. Now you should throw it now. Throw it now. No, I'm just saying, I'm staying around. Now he throws it over. Look at this. The 2 safeties are here. He's trying to get it over, both of them, to Porter from a flat-footed stance.
Wow.
We told you that Porter was going to be working down the middle early in the ball game. We said this. They wanted to get it to Porter over the middle. He down the middle of the field. Just that's a great throw and a good catch.
Jonathan Jackson's the guy that levels McNeil. Reggie still looking sideways through legs and going touchdown.
I like that, huh?
That's a good look. Good job, Reggie. 13-13. Fourth touchdown catch of the year for Porter. And again, the ball with the wind here rolls off the tee. A&M had 3 timeouts left, didn't use any, and they score a touchdown with 7 seconds to go.
Well, that's college football, because when you make first downs, the clock stops and you can get the next play off without using it.
Skate's kick is a big blast out of the end zone again. So no time off the clock. 7 seconds coming up for Oklahoma. We assume they would take a knee and head to the locker room tied with Texas A&M. Surprisingly tied at Kyle Field right now.
Let's point out that that offensive line of A&M doing a nice job of giving the quarterbacks for them time to throw. He had all day.
There's Dino Babers talking with his protege, Reggie McNeil. I tell you what, when Swanee told Reggie yesterday, son, you got to put more on the ball, I think he listened.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's throwing it, and the great thing about that throw was he threw it into the end zone, and he stood in the pocket and didn't run with the ball.
He stood in, took a big lick. Porter made a great catch, and everybody's standing at Kyle Field. Halftime in College Station. 13 apiece. Capital One halftime show with John Saunders is coming up. Don't miss the rest of this one. We got a dandy going here in College Station. ABC Sports presentation of college football return after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back at Kyle Field, halftime 13-13, Oklahoma and Texas, and we're right about up in there, about the 50-yard line. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nessler and Bob Greasy. Partner, good game. Two different ways these teams went about getting 13 points. Oklahoma did it kind of the hard way, and A&M did it with quick strikes.
They both did it on their last 2 possessions of the half. Oklahoma taking it 10 and 16 plays, and they only got field goals. A&M took it 4 and 5 plays on their 2 possessions, but they got touchdowns on both of theirs.
In the second quarter, it was time to reveal Reggie McNeil, and he went to work, hit Terrence Murphy, 51-yard quick strike touchdown. And then right before the half, he waited and waited, took a huge shot and let go deep, and Greg Porter got it in the back of the end zone. Tie it up at 13.
No question, Reggie McNeil is a story of the first half coming on, and for the last 4 series, got him 2 touchdowns in some big plays.
And the Aggies will have the ball first 2, a yard deep. Jason Carter will bring it out on the kick return, and Carter's got a little opening. Tripped up, though. Got to about the 28-yard line. Let's check in with Swanee.
Well, Bob and Brad, you're right. Reggie McNeil was the story, and R.C. Slocum re-emphasized the fact that it was always in his game plan to put Reggie into the ball game. But coming back out for the second half, you'll see the man behind center for the second half getting the start will be number 16, Reggie McNeil. I talked to Mike Stoops. I asked him if this changed his game plan. He says, absolutely. We have to be aware of Reggie McNeil, know where he is at all times. He is a different asset. We have to drop back in our coverage and be aware that he can run the football. Brad?
All right, Lynn, from the 28, on the ground, on the draw. Holy mackerel. What a hit that was by Jackson and Lance Mitchell. Our Pacific Light game summary statistically in the first half. As we take a look, you see the time of possession. That's what Bob and I were talking about. You can have it all day long, but if the other team hits it in a hurry, it doesn't really matter.
You got to convert. Red zone points 13 for OU. I mean, they've been inside and only kicked field goals a couple times. A&M is scoring from outside.
That's right. They didn't need to get in the red zone. They did it from farther out. 2nd down and 12 here, and we've got a timeout already. We'll take a timeout with him. Mike Stoops comes out to talk to his defense with 14-18 to go, 3rd quarter. Reggie McNeil didn't get the play in time. He was making the motion like hurry up, and he had to call the timeout after the 1 play here in the 3rd quarter. Now he goes back to work, and he goes back in the pocket and finds Lance Mitchell to say hello. Teddy Lehman was there too, and a loss of 4.
Well, this Oklahoma defense has come out fired up, and they know they got to set the tempo. They're frustrated. They've got 2 touchdowns scored on them the last 2 possessions. 2 inside linebackers, 10 and 11, Mitchell and Lehman, mixing it up in there, and you know, there's a lot of things going through that freshman quarterback's head right now,
including Lance Mitchell's helmet.
This is a darn good defense for him to try to be doing some stuff against.
So it's backed up to the 22-yard line. 3rd down and 16. Not the spot he wanted to get in on the opening series of the 3rd. He'll run a quarterback draw here, right by the umpire, into the open field. He's got a 1st down and then some. Reggie McNeil all the way to the 45-yard line. That's something Bob talked about, and he gives them that nobody else can.
There's no question about it. My thought when he dropped back was, all right, you're backed up, first possession, just don't make a mistake, don't turn it over. I thought the play call was great, a quarterback draw. Now, he makes something out of it. Do you remember a kid by the name of Brad Smith?
Absolutely. Gave him fits, gave Oklahoma fits,
exactly.
Almost beat him.
Missouri quarterback, redshirt freshman, gained a lot of yardage. McNeil's starting to do the same thing.
1st down after a 33-yard run. Now he fakes it to Weber, keeps it himself. Lehman's there to turn him in, and then Tommy Harris makes the tackle.
Number 16, right.
Got about 2.5 on that one.
Yard line.
This is a proud defense, Mitchell and Lehman and that crew.
We were talking to Mike Stoops before, and he was talking to R.C. Slocum, and he said those 2 junior college linebackers that we got, Mitchell and Jackson, he said really saved us. He says we really needed some help immediately. Mitchell was supposed to go to Florida, then went to a junior college,
right.
And then because he couldn't get something wrong with a class, he got into Oklahoma. He couldn't go back to Florida.
He was 1 English credit shy as far as Florida's program is concerned. Here comes Joe Weber. Weber in the clear. Brandon Everidge saved a touchdown. 25 yards for Weber.
The whole thing turned around on that draw play on 3rd down by Reggie McNeil. Oklahoma came out and dominated the first 2 plays from the line of scrimmage. And now A&M is on a roll.
Kevin Sumlin told us the seniors have got to take a leadership role. He said, Joe Weber, this is a personal thing for him. This is his last crack at Oklahoma. We expect him to play well. He's got to lead us. He is right now.
And Billy Yates and Taylor Whitley, the 2 senior guards, out in front of that play.
First down at the 17-yard line. A&M threatening to score on their opening possession of the 3rd quarter. McNeil, pump fake, pump and go, got a man, touchdown! Bethel Johnson. His first catch of the day couldn't have come at a better moment. They bid on the out and up. The pump fake was perfect, so was the throw. Touchdown Aggies. They take the lead on Oklahoma for the first time today. Pegram for the point after. Got it this time. A stunning end to the 2nd quarter, a stunning beginning to the 3rd quarter. Reggie McNeil putting on a show. The Aggies lead Oklahoma 20-13.
The young quarterback, Reggie McNeil, growing up very quickly. Watch as he's going to pump right here, and then he just lofts it. He sees he's got the man beat, and just don't miss him, and he does it. Now here's what he did. The receiver, Bethel Johnson, right there, straight comes up, thinks it's going to be a hitch like they've been throwing a lot today, and that's just good pressure playing by the receiver and the quarterback.
Here's a kick. Deep, hits the goal line and bounces out of bounds in the end zone. Touchback. So all of a sudden, the Aggies 5-4. Flag down on the kick. They lead Oklahoma with 14 unanswered points, courtesy of 2 touchdown passes by that young fella. 72 yards. He did a bunch of it on that 33-yard quarterback draw. Then he got 25 from Weber, and then a perfectly executed stop-and-go route. And he hit his man in the corner of the end zone. First time Johnson's caught it, and it was a touchdown.
Encroachment by the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
And one of the keys here is that they did that into the wind. Texas A&M received at the beginning of the game, and now they just received the opening 2nd half kickoff. That's because of Oklahoma at the beginning of the game. They wanted to win. The win was such a factor that they took the win, and because they took their choice, the 2nd half choice was A&M's, and they took the ball again.
And went right down the field, scored. Bethel's going to stay warm after that touchdown. There's the wind, as we told you before the game. 20 to 30 miles an hour heading that way.
And if you wait a minute, it'll change and go the other way.
That's true. And they're going to have to hold the football again to kick. Sammy Davis will hold it.
This happened a couple of years ago when they were down here. They got down by, what, 10 points in the 4th quarter?
They got saved by
Oklahoma.
the defense. Defense actually won the game with an interception return for a touchdown.
Marshall, the middle linebacker.
Yep.
Remember that play.
Torrance Marshall saved their season. Now it might be up to Teddy Lehman and Lance Mitchell and that group to save it. Cody Skates with a kick. This one's returnable by Antoine Savage. Savage across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line. Let's go back and look at the touchdown one more time.
Well, here you go. It's just a hitch and go. It's a little hitch there. Straight, who they've thrown these in front of him before. Now he bites on it, and it's just, you got to take your time. Bethel Johnson did a great job of selling it, and that's why he was so open, because it was single coverage and he just sold the route.
That gave you a beautiful picture of the corner biting on a good execution play by a wide receiver and a quarterback. And the swing pass intended for Quentin Griffin is incomplete.
All right, let me tell you what you got right here. Oklahoma is, they've had pressure being number 1, but now they're behind for the first time in the 2nd half. And now they see, everybody's telling us how good we are. We're going to be at the Fiesta Bowl, the championship game. Hey, we were down 7 points in the second half on the road to a good team. Now somebody's got to step up and score some points.
We got to get out of College Station before we go any farther west.
They got 5 games left, including this one. That's a lot of football to play.
This crowd's getting noisy now. A lot of silent counts by Hibble. High snap. Give inside. Quentin Griffin trying to weave. And does for about 4, but that's it. Ryan Gamble and Penwright in on the stop.
Brad and Bob, I want to go back to what I said at the beginning of the ball game when I said this is the time of the year where attitude plays such an important part. And it's obvious that Texas A&M came in with the attitude they wanted to play this ball game and had a lot to prove. Now, Mike Stoops said on the field before the ball game, the one thing he did want to have is this team gaining in confidence and having the crowd still in the ball game, and they're right on top of it now.
Boy, are they ever. Third down and 5.
Hibble been pretty good on third downs.
Almost perfect. Needs one here. Blitz coming. Lobs it. Got a man open. Got him on the run, and it's Fagan. And Fagan is gone. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
Boy, you can't do it any better than that. You're looking a little shabby. Maybe they shoot you down. We'll come right back and score a touchdown right on top of it. That's pretty good.
Longest play of the year for the Sooners. Hibble laid it beautifully on Fagan. 68 yards, touchdown.
You mentioned it, partner. Blitz single coverage, and he just beat the coverage and then outran it.
Boy, we had a couple pretty passes back-to-back, haven't we? Point away from being tied up again. Trey DiCarlo to try to even it up, and does. What a start to the third quarter at Kyle Field. 10:33 remaining in the third. Sooners going deep, tying it at 20. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew. College Station, Texas. What a Big 12 football game this has become. 10:33 remaining in the third quarter. If you just joined us, Texas A&M opened up the third quarter with a quick scoring drive, and Oklahoma's just answered. 3 plays, 73 yards, their longest play of the year. Curtis Fagan, number 12, there on the kickoff team. A touchdown catch from Nate Hibble.
It was impressive. It was really impressive.
And this kick is deep. Carter can't handle it in the sun, and it'll be the 20-yard line for Texas A&M.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
So as they say down here in Texas, this one's fixing to get good.
There's a blitz now. Watch the linebackers. They're going to come from this side here and here and here. I mean, this is just perfect. As a quarterback, you love this, and I'm sure Swanee down at the other end, he would love this. Single coverage. You don't have to worry about any help. Just throw it over number 11, Jones's head, and you got 6.
Swanee, he never even had to move his hands. He didn't put his hands up.
Well, that was a perfect thing, and he didn't break stride. It was absolutely perfect.
And then he ran away from him. He had the speed not to get caught.
Thomas Carragher, the tight end, came out of his stance. That'll be a 5-yard penalty against Texas A&M.
Well, Brett.
Go ahead, Swanee.
Well, Brad and Bob, we often talk about those passes being thrown, and in many cases you're just a bit behind or just too far out in front or too low. Doesn't give the receiver the opportunity to make the catch and then do something with the ball. Here's a perfect case of all you had to do was catch it and he was going to score, but it had to be a perfect pass, and that's exactly what it was.
No doubt about it. 1st and 15 at the 15. Got 5. The door closed in a hurry. Brandon Everidge made the stop from his safety position. Back to the original line of scrimmage.
Terrence Thomas, the receiver, just kind of standing around there. Got into some of that backwash.
That's exactly what it was. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Weber's going to say, hey, if you were blocking down there, you
might have been way down there.
Right, I wouldn't have knocked you over.
3 wideouts, including Terrence Thomas, who comes out here to the right side. A 4 wideout grouping. They go on the ground the other way, though, and Weber's all wrapped up by Jonathan Jackson. Jackson's had a nice game from his defensive end spot. Kind of staying home and sliding down the line, making some tackles. A sophomore out of Houston. Didn't play too far from here in his high school ball. The Sooners band is here. I don't think they expected to be in the battle that they're in. There's the third down conversion story for A&M. Third and 9. McNeil stands and waits. Tipped. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Bassey. Tip ball by Mitchell, the linebacker, I think, and Bassey's got another interception, second one for Oklahoma today.
That's why we said they're second in the nation in turnover margin. It's 28 now on the year, 28 takeaways.
Including 18 interceptions.
Yes, and they get a lot of them. From behind the defense, watch number 10. I think Lehman's going to be the guy that tips it. Mitchell, I mean, right here. Number 10, watch him.
Yep, there it is.
That ball was not thrown that well. He should have thrown it inside of Mitchell, way to the inside where the receiver was coming. That was not a good throw.
At the 32. They fake it. They might want it all on the first play. Fagan again. Incomplete. Nice coverage back there by Keelan Jackson. You could just feel that one coming. Faking that draw and then trying to get a quick 6.
I like the call. Chuck Long, the offensive coordinator, the passing game, going right after it. I like that. Play action pass down the field.
Under Bob Stoops, they've had a lot of scoring drives that haven't lasted long. Second down and 10. Hibble may have changed things a bit at the line. Again, silent count. A little bit of option going right. Quentin Griffin on the run. Penalty markers are down. Might have a holding call out there. We've had very few flags today.
Yes, you're right.
And it is holding against Oklahoma. You know, you talk about the offense and Bob Stoops. Sometimes people say, well, they play to lose, they play to win. Are they conservative on offense? He had an answer for us.
It's never been our job. It's never been our focus just to try and hold on to the ball. We make big plays. We throw the ball downfield. 3 touchdown passes versus Colorado last week. We've rushed for over 200 yards. 2 of the last 3 games. So we understand. I think we rushed for 199 in the other. Now we want our offense to move the ball, and we're aggressive with it. But sure, we want to be smart and make sure we're always responsible with the ball.
He doesn't miss much.
No, he doesn't. You better know what you're asking him.
Oh, yes.
Because he'll give you an answer.
He'll set you straight, that's for sure.
Second down at 17. 8:30 to go, third quarter, tie game. Here comes a blitz on Hibble. Going deep again, but his receiver went one way, the pass went the other, as Antoine Savage broke to the post and Hibble threw to the flag. Incomplete, nobody
It's
home.
a great shot there. You see Peoples shaking his head, and Hibble looking at him. They got to be on the same street.
So now
maybe Peoples heard the hook, but he didn't hear the go part.
Yeah.
Now it's third down and long. Third time today that Oklahoma's been in a 3rd and 10 or more situation. And here comes the crowd to life for the wrecking crew. Let's see what happens from the 38-yard line. Trying to take advantage of Bassey's interception. Hibble across the middle. Savage trying to make something out of it, but way too many maroon jerseys around him. He got back to about the 28-yard line.
Maybe got him back into field goal range. Be like a 45-yarder.
See what they do. Hibble's going to trot off. He would have the wind at Trey DeCarlo's back. And here he comes, the freshman. This time last year, he was going to the homecoming dance. Now he's playing big-time football.
And he's done pretty well, too.
Yes, he has. He's hit 2 today. He hit 2 last week and missed 2 last week. This one from 45 yards out.
Downwind.
DeCarlo, kick on the way. It is perfect.
Here.
Got it. Add 3 more, and Oklahoma takes the lead back. Bob Stoops says we'll take it. They turn Eric Bassey's interception again into points. Oklahoma by a field goal.
We are playing more like we're not holding on to something, and more like we're going after something.
They're going after their 9th win, and they're going after the Aggie defense with a long ball. They were behind 1 minute and 13 seconds in this game. Then they scored that touchdown. Then they intercepted a pass, and they just kicked a 45-yard field goal. So 10 points for the Sooners in about the last 3 minutes.
The mark of a champion. He said they were playing better each week. We're getting better. They're more confident. We're a better team. We're getting better each week, and that's the way you want a team to be. During the week, you know, Miami kind of took some weeks off. You know, they went to Rutgers, and they played, you know, you play these weaker teams, and you're not going to get up. But today against Tennessee, they're getting up. And now, within this conference, you don't have many weak teams.
And again, the weather raising havoc with the football on the tee. So DiCarlo resets it with 7:29 to go, third quarter. Sudden change points. 10 points off 2 turnovers today. Adding to that, a remarkable total we talked about with you earlier in the game, and we said 40% of their total points this year have come off turnovers and what they've done after the turnovers. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chrysler. Drive equals love. Pacific Life, annuities, insurance, and investments rely on the strength of Pacific Life. And Zocor. Talk to your doctor about Zocor today. Brad Nessler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan. And a packed house at Kyle Field with you from College Station. On an 80-degree day, 80 plus when the game started. Shadows now over the field. Pickup of about 2 as they fake the end around. As we check in on our end around, let's go to John Saunders in New York.
Brad, in the wild and wacky Pac-10, Oregon trailing Washington State. But Jason Gesser is picked up by Kevin Mitchell, who takes it easily in 20 yards for the touchdown, 21-17.
But that could start spoiling the Cougars' BCS standing as well.
Look at this.
Dead even. Well, until a second ago, we were dead even on the scoreboard, too. Now it's the Aggies down 3. On second down, Reggie McNeil rolls out. Was going to throw, now tucks it and takes off. Didn't quite get a first down, though. Run down by Jimmy Wilkerson. That tells you the speed of the defensive lineman of Oklahoma.
Well, that's for sure. You look at Wilkerson's number. It's number 45. I think he was a linebacker. You know, you don't give defensive linemen those types of numbers unless they grow into the position.
Jimmy led the club in sacks and tackles for loss last year, and he was a linebacker until after spring drills.
Exactly. 2 years ago in the championship game we did in the Orange Bowl, he was a linebacker.
That's right. And now he's down there in a 3-point stance. Third down on the yard. Big play here for the Aggies, trying to answer the field goal of Oklahoma's. Weber's got it, and he broke a tackle or 2. Took Everidge with him, and finally Bassey brought him down, but Joe Weber got 11.
And he broke the tackle of Brandon Everidge, who has been playing super the last few weeks. Coming up near the line of scrimmage right there, usually making that play. Bob Stoops was saying, hey, Everidge is playing as well as anybody in the league right now, maybe in the country. He likened him to the play of Roy Williams, the All-American strong safety for Oklahoma.
Who's now with the Dallas Cowboys. 23-17 is the breakdown there. They go back and get their 18th. And it's a completion out of bounds. Pickup of about 4. Time permitting. Reminder to stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report featuring scores and highlights from across the country. John will have everything that went on and tell you what's coming up later on tonight. R.C. Slocum's done such a great job here. 14 years. A lot of Southwest Conference championships. 1 Big 12 title. Winningest coach ever at A&M. Looking for his 123rd here, and he's in a dogfight with the number 2 team in the country. On second down, Weber again follows his blockers, and he's out close to the 48-yard line. Pasha Jackson in on the stop. Talked about R.C. Slocum and spending time with him. He turned 58 years old on Thursday. They had a bunch of balloons out there by the practice field, and I said happy birthday, RC. He says, I just like having birthdays every year. That means I'm still around. 4-time coach of the year, and a fine gentleman and a good coach. 3rd down along 2.
Here comes the blitz.
They show it, and they'll bring it. And McNeil lobs it. Got a man out there, almost an acrobatic catch, going after Derek Strait again. Bethel Johnson couldn't handle it.
Bender threw it. They're going after Strait, number 2. That's who they threw the stop and go for the touchdown. But this ball was a little bit underthrown. Take a look at Bethel Johnson. If that ball is further down the line, see how him slow up and look over his head? Throw the ball down the field. Let your man run to it.
Bethel made a nice play on it, trying to find it over his shoulder, looking completely back. Cody skates. His last kick was a career long. He doesn't need that here. He just wants to drop it inside the 10. It bounces at the 2, and they down it at the 3 again. Second time today. Byron Jones again.
Outstanding.
Beautiful punt. 48 yards, and they bury Oklahoma where they buried them in the first quarter at the 3-yard line. Coming up on Monday night, Alan John will be looking good. The Yellow Blazers come out because it's Monday Night Football's historic 500 telecast. They've got the league's great rivalry of the Raiders and the Broncos. Monday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. And of course, my partners were in many Monday Night Football games, including Bradshaw, play action.
A lot of time, no receiver. Finds one, guess who? Lynn Swan.
And guess who? Lynn Swan.
He's always there.
I tell
wait
you
a
what.
minute. I want to see that again.
That was a good one. I want to see the haircut again.
Yeah.
Here's Quentin Griffin. Nice run by Quentin Griffin. He's got that same boyish grin.
What's all this?
I don't know.
I recognize this.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that hair.
Well, I want you to know that haircut and that style was like there, wherever you got it.
Good job of turning around, buddy.
Yeah, I'm talking to you guys.
We always try to warn our partner to turn around.
Listen, Oklahoma scored on their last 4 possessions.
Second down. High snap. Give to Quentin Griffin. Quentin's all wrapped up, nowhere to hide. Linus Smith, the junior out of Tyler, Texas, makes a stop.
When you see what he did there, though, he did something smart. You know, he's not the biggest guy. He's only 5'7", about 190. These other guys, when the defense gets you and you can't get away, get down. They had 3 or 4 guys, but he went down the way he wanted to go down and not the way Jasmine and Smith and Honeycutt, some of those defensive guys wanted to go. Protect your body.
Third down, a big one for Oklahoma. They're up by 3 with 3:20 left in the quarter. Hibble, plenty of time, zips it, almost intercepted by Gamble. Oh boy, he would have been gone.
The danger there is when the quarterback looks where he's going to throw the ball, that attracts linebackers and defensive backs right to where he's throwing it. Here from the end zone, he's going to try and throw it over here. Look at him, he's looking over to the right side the whole time, and that attracts the linebacker.
This is a tough spot now. Ferguson's in his own end zone. Aggies have been a good team over the years, getting to punters in this kind of situation. Plenty of time to get it away. Carter on the other end, trying to clear everybody out of the way. It's going to be great field possession anyway for the Aggies, about their own 47-yard line. So that's where they take over offensively. Talking about Monday Night Football in a career in 15 games. Lynn Swan, 36 catches, 578 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
That's not bad. This is the Brad Netzer, Bob Greasy Hair Club for Men look. And I can always go back to that look anytime I want to.
You're not only the president, you're a member.
Back to the
Look
future.
like I'm on the Mod Squad.
Solid link. Here we go. McNeil draw play inside. Across the 50. Down to about the 48-yard line. Osler Fleming's first carry of the day. Fleming and Weber doing the job that Derek Farmer normally would do. Derek not playing today. And the backs have done a nice job. They got to keep Oklahoma honest in case there's a play action somewhere on Reggie's sleeve that he's looking at. Second down. And a long 5 coming up. but in Oklahoma territory. Aggies trailing by 3, final 2.5 minutes, third quarter. McNeil, quick drop. The throw is complete. It's going to be short of the first down by about a yard, I think, to Bethel Johnson. And that will bring up 3rd down and 1.
I'm impressed the way young Reggie McNeil, like again, he hasn't played coming into this ball game. He had thrown let me get the numbers for you. It was 12 of 26. 12 of 26, 2 touchdowns, only 46%. This kid is becoming of age here today.
3rd down, short 2. And Oklahoma jumps offside. Ball came loose, but taking a knee was Reggie McNeil. Dvorak was offside, I believe.
Yeah.
Fell out of his stance right there by the center, and quickly Hangartner snapped the ball. Here's the call.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Watch number 94.
Dvorak right there.
Now that's good cadence. That's the, you know, and I've said this many a times, that the guys you can affect the most are those guys right in front of you, right over the guard or the center, because they can hear the inflection of your voice the best. And if you had a non-rhythmic cadence, you know, and if they're not paying attention, you would think just watch the ball and go.
So it's an automatic first down at the 40. Might be a blitz coming from the secondary here from Oklahoma. There's the play action I talked about. Here comes a deep ball. Murphy! Touchdown! Second touchdown for Murphy. One was 51, one was 40, and Reveille's loving it. The Aggies are back in front.
Little play action.
Extra point is good. Two touchdowns, 128 yards. Look at that average. When you got 51 and 40 for your 2 touchdowns, that average is going to be pretty good. Brandon Everidge fell down on that play.
He sure did. Their leading receiver not playing today, Jamar Taylor. We said at the beginning of the game, they're just going to put somebody else in there, Bethel Johnson. Here's Bethel, straights working on him. The problem is, Everidge in the center of the field, number 7, falls down.
Terrence Murphy, second touchdown.
He was expecting some help and didn't get it.
Well, Bob and Brad, you're talking about Reggie McNeil and how calm and how great he's playing against a good defense. I think one of the things that helps him be calm in that pocket and play a good game is the fact that his quarterback coach, Dino Babers, is right there on the sideline with him.
Yeah.
He has a chance to talk to him when he comes to the sideline. They go over things. Right now, he's sitting on the bench next to his quarterback, calming effect on that young man.
So McNeil to Murphy, 2 long ones.
And I'll tell you what, success will bring you along quicker than anything.
What's up, Mom?
I'm sure he's had some struggles along the way. But you throw touchdown passes, and that'll boost your confidence.
Sure will. For Reggie, more touchdown passes in this game than in his career. 3 today. Here's the last one.
Right here, watch Everidge. He's in the middle of the field. It's going to be a play action pass. He sees the play action. Now he doesn't get deep enough. And when the ball does go over his head, look at this.
He's down.
He's on the ground, and he should be deep, helping straight out. Straight was expecting some help in the middle of the field.
So now Oklahoma will work from the 35 as a kick went out of bounds. And they're trailing again. Remember, they didn't trail for long last time, about 1 minute and 13 seconds before they regained the lead. This time they trail by 4. Nate Hibble across the middle, Trent Smith on the run. The big tight end fumbled it, and I think he fell right back on top.
I don't know if he got it or not.
No, maybe not. A&M's got it. Randall Webb's got it. I thought his own fumble, but Randall Webb ripped it out of there.
This is a tough place to play right here, boy. It is loud. It's intimidating. He's got it. Tuck it away. Now he goes after it again, and he just doesn't get it.
Gamble's the one that made the hit that forced the fumble. Here's another look.
Oklahoma's been living on the turnovers all year. This is a takeaway that may cost them.
At the 42-yard line. Weber up the middle. Joe Weber cartwheeled, but he got a first down, and he got all the way to the 31-yard line. Boy, are they excited right now. First down at the 31-yard line. 82 yards for Joe Weber. He stepped up to the plate, hasn't he? There's the wrecking crew. There's the guy that fumbled after the reception. And now the A&M offense again to work at the 31. Weber again. Met in the hole.
It's over, fellas. It's over.
Only got about a yard to the 30. Pasha Jackson put him down. Our Chrysler passing playbook, Bob.
Let's talk passing a little bit. I want to talk to you about the influence of the quarterback's eyes. If he looks over here, you can affect this guy. Now watch as he drops back to pass. He's going to be looking to our left. See that right there? He looked left first. This holds him. He wants to throw the ball over to the right side. Young quarterbacks don't realize enough what you can do with your head and your eyes in moving defensive players around.
Second down and 9. Final half-minute, third quarter at the 30-yard line. Weber, draw play. No, kept by McNeil. Reggie on the run. Down to the 11-yard line. He had me.
I was fooled too.
I bit on the fake and he took off. 24 yards.
I think I just let him keep it all the time. This young kid was one of the top, if not the top, 1 or 2 high school quarterbacks in the state of Texas last year. He's doing the same thing to Oklahoma that Brad Smith, the quarterback in Missouri, did. He's running all over the place on this good defense.
3 tight end offense as the quarter ends. And now, when they start singing their song and start swaying back and forth, this place is starting to move on us. The end of 3, a possible upset in the making. Texas A&M 27, Oklahoma 23. There's what I was talking about, going to the break. And quite a break it was.
Update that for me, bud.
And now they sway down to the 6-yard line. First and goal. Weber hit immediately. Actually lost about a half-yard. Tommy Harris made the hit. Second down and goal coming up for the Aggies. They lead 27-23. Start of the fourth quarter. With Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan, and our ABC crew, Brad Nessler with you from College Station. Looking on, Tex and Marjorie Wright. Tex says, I've only been watching football about 54 years. Actually, he said he's 89. He's going to turn 90 next Saturday. Marge says his birthday was last Saturday, so he's lying about his age. But he said he's seen a lot of great players. Bob asked him about who's the best quarterback. And at halftime, he said to me, you know what, Brad? I like Reggie McNeil's release. That's a fan. Here's Reggie. Pump fake. Looking for a release. He'll release himself. Runs inside, got back to the line of scrimmage. You can get some good stories from football fans like Tex.
I was interested talking to him. I said, Tex, how come you've been living so long? He said, I said, you drink a little Diet Coke every now and then? I said, yeah, I used to, And I said, smoke cigars, yeah. I given those up, though.
I thought he had the right grasp on life. I'm going to be an old guy. I'm going to follow his pattern.
Whatever you were doing, we want to follow.
That's right. He does most of the stuff I do, so maybe I'll be doing this a while. Third down and goal. Oklahoma thinking about a blitz. And here they come. Inside handoff from Ball. Fallen. Texas A&M recovered it, but it's going to be 4th down. And a nice job to get back on time of Taylor Whitley, the right guard, is the guy that fell on it.
It's a nice little sprint draw. Who hits
He
this
just
ball?
lost a
Who
hand.
knocks this out? That's
Eric
Everidge.
Bassey.
Everidge knocks it out.
And now it sets up the field goal attempt. To try a 24-yard kick. Pegram to try to extend the lead. Todd Pegram's kick is good. He got it. And they're up a touchdown now. 12:46 remaining in the ball game. Aggies try to stun Oklahoma. They're up 7. Cody skates to kick after Pegram's field goal is put the Aggies up 7. Skates has been blasting these things out of the end zone. This one 5 yards deep. They won't return it. Remember the last time at Kyle Field 2 years ago, as we take you back, Jamar Toombs, a 27-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter, put A&M ahead by 10, 31-21. Quentin Griffin touchdown run pulled Oklahoma within 3. And then the play of the year, Torrance Marshall picked off Mark Ferris, returns it for the game-winning touchdown. The final was Oklahoma 35, Texas A&M 31.
They won that game and went on to win the national championship 2 years ago.
With the win over Florida State in the Orange Bowl. Oklahoma's last 2 drives, 3 and out. And a 1 play and then a fumble. This time, Quentin Griffin got 4, maybe 5.
Got you right here.
And we're under 12.5 minutes. The Sooners in the 4th quarter have more than doubled their opponent. They're going to need some more of that Sooner magic. If there is such a thing, you can find it on the road in a place this rowdy. Well, that's what they're hoping for.
To win a championship along the way, there are going to be times like this. Sometimes you're going to have to be lucky. Sometimes you're going to have to be good enough to overcome the crowd and being behind in the 4th quarter into the win.
Hibble. Quick throw, incomplete. Peoples, the intended receiver. And it was behind him. Peoples went in. The pass went out. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Bob Stoops cheering on his offense. Every other person decked in maroon cheering on the defense. 3rd down and 6. The crowd will either get louder or Nate Hibble will quiet them right here.
You got single coverage on the outside on both sides.
Hibble lofts it down the middle, got his man, and he got it. Nope, incomplete. Nope, they're going to say a catch, and then the ball came loose. It's Mark Clayton.
The back judge came forward and made a signal as if, yes, he caught it, yes, he caught it.
I thought he caught it the first time we looked, and then you see the ball pop loose at the end. And we'll get another look.
There's nobody in the center of the field. The 2 wide receivers have single coverage. The one on our left runs the post. Well, let's see it again here.
Yep.
Yeah, he caught it.
He had it. Yep. It came out. Yeah, he even had his hand wrapped around it when he rolled.
And that official in the back made the call.
Hibble, play action. Going deep down the middle again, and again he's got it down to the 25-yard line. 21 yards to Peoples. John Saunders has got an update on another undefeated team. John.
Miami Hurricanes having a little bit of a easier time than Oklahoma right now. Ken Dorsey hooking up with Kellen Winslow Jr. The big tight end takes it in. Touchdown. 26-3 at Tennessee. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech about to go down for the 2nd consecutive week, perhaps, trailing Syracuse 22-21.
All right, John, thanks for the update here. It's 30-23 as we approach 11 minutes. 1st down, Oklahoma from the shotgun. Hibble again to throw. Fires sideline for Quentin Griffin and double covered over there.
Now, he was throwing that one away, and he should have. Nobody open. And just dumped it out of bounds. That's the nice thing about throwing on 1st down. You don't feel the pressure of having to stick it in there because you've got 2nd and 3rd down left to pick it up.
55 yards they've gone in a hurry. As we told you, They can strike quickly, and they're fighting back. Second down and 10. Inside handoff, Quentin Griffin has done so many times. He's very close to a first down.
Well, what a great back. I mean,
He is.
Late in the game, when you need yardage, I mean, there's nothing better to have a guy you can count on. Number 22, the little draw. They're not sure whether you'll get it. Big number 70 in there for Davis. That's Shun Show.
And now they bring in Kewan Jones. He's their short yardage guy. They bring in an extra tight end as well. 10-20 left in the ball game. Third down and a yard.
Fagan's been the guy they like on third down.
Kewan got the yard and a bunch more. Close to the 10. Maybe even better that he was tackled at about the 11-yard line, because now they can get a first down inside the 2. First and 10, Oklahoma.
So much for our defensive struggle, as we talked about earlier.
That's right. That's going out the window.
Yes, sir.
Nice job of following Joseph, that freshman lineman Bob was talking about earlier.
Number 77.
Just put his hand on his butt, says, I'm coming right after you. Down to the 11-yard line. Stoops looks up at the scoreboard. Sees that he's down 7. 8th play of the drive coming up, though, trying to tie it up. Nate Hibble's going to call a timeout. 9:47 remaining in the ball game. Timeout, Oklahoma. Aggies leading the Sooners 30-23. To play in regulation. Texas A&M leading Oklahoma 30-23. And they've got it. The Sooners do at the 11-yard line. First and 10.
That's the good news.
The bad news is
they haven't scored. They've struggled inside the 20-yard line all day today.
3 times in the red zone they had to kick 2 field goals. And Revelle's got it figured out. You know what? She only barks when the Aggies are on defense. I like that. That's a good fan.
Yeah, it is. Just we don't make noise when we're on offense.
That's
just
right.
When we're on defense and the other team's out there.
They'll go from the spread again from the 11. Peoples and Savage to the left. Trent Smith's going to come in motion. Quentin Griffin flanking Hibble in the gun. Nate looks right and left. In trouble. Down he goes. Sacked by Marcus Jasmine.
And Jasmine controls the center. 317 pounds. He has been very active all day long.
Second down and 14. Again, the Sooners could get a first down at the 1-yard line.
The defensive line leads the conference in sacks with 32 coming into play.
Hibble going left all the way this time, and incomplete, intended for Peoples again. And Penwright, the linebacker, was out there with him. Ty Warren, the All-American defensive end who was hurt early in the game, can only look on. He can't help his defense right now.
Well, there's plenty of time. 9 minutes to go. The thing you don't want to do is come out of here without points.
You at least need 3 if you're Oklahoma. Three wideouts and Trent Smith's in a slot.
A lot of receivers down here, and Smith is in the middle, as you say.
Hibble looking that way, and incomplete. Intended for Clayton. Byron Jones was there. Sammy Davis was there.
And what a play it was by Byron Jones, guys. Watch as the receiver makes a move to the outside. Watch his right hand. He comes in. Boom, right there. Just strips it away from the receiver.
Boy,
great play. Yeah, if he had not stripped the ball away, he would have turned into the end zone for a touchdown.
Good call, Swanee.
Right there.
Matt McCoy to hold. Trey DiCarlo's been perfect today. 3 field goals in 3 tries. This one from 32 yards to try to cut into the Aggie lead. Kick on the way, and it is good. So DiCarlo hits his 4th field goal, momentarily giving Bob Stoops' Sooners a little bit of momentum, but they're still behind with 8:49 to play in the ball game.
right. They momentum. You get 3 points off of that drive. It's a positive. Now you turn to the defense. All right, defense, get it back for us.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Discover Card, it pays to discover. And America's Dairy Farmers, the power of cheese. Quite a football game we got going on in College Station, Texas today. In Aggie Land, we welcome you. If you're just joining us, you've missed a dandy, and we got a long ways to go. 8:49 left. That scoring drive, almost 4 minutes to get the field goal. And it cuts the Aggies' lead to 30-26.
The problem for Oklahoma has been their defense. They have not stopped the A&M offense
ever since Reggie McNeil came in.
Exactly, and they've scored in 5 of the last 6 drives.
Kick by DeCarlo into the wind, goes to the 8 to Terrence Thomas. And Thomas out to about the 24. So the Aggies are going to work.
You got to tip our hat a little bit to Kevin Sumlin, who has been calling the plays, the assistant head coach, who has been calling the plays since the 4th game of the season for the Aggies. And in those last 7 games, they've been in the 30s 4 times, in the 30s 3 times, and in the 20s 1 time. So their average, the scoring average, the last 7 games has been 37 points a game.
Their passing game's just exploded since that time. And the freshman's exploded onto the scene today. Here's the end around. Bethel Johnson. And he's hit out of bounds after a short gain. Derek Strait stayed home, made the play. Derek Strait, they picked on him a couple of times today.
Yep.
Oklahoma's defense came in 268, was 6th in the country. And today, 416 already for the Aggies.
Now, boys, I'm not trying to predict a play, but we saw a little skullduggery during the practice on Thursday, and the right personnel are in the ball game for it.
That would be an end-around pass. But this is McNeil. He's off to one. And penalty markers, it's intercepted. Penalty marker, I think we're going to have either a pass interference or holding, but let's wait and see.
I think we're going to have interference on Oklahoma.
Bethel Johnson got bumped out of bounds before he ever had a chance to even come in to make a play on the ball. And it is pass interference on Oklahoma. Here's another look.
Take a look at it right here.
There was the push, the second one, and he's out of bounds.
Well, the reason that's interference is because the ball's in the air. You can jam him as long as he's not past you, as long as the ball's not in the air, but the ball was in the air.
So now McNeil's got a first down to work with at the 41-yard line. And he's going to run it himself all the way. Quarterback drawing, it didn't go anywhere. Oklahoma makes the stop. Jonathan Jackson, rather, on the stop. Monday nights, don't forget, Al and John will be along with the Yellow Blazers from yesteryear. It's Monday Night Football's historic 500th telecast, the Raiders and the Broncos, and we'll reveal the game you selected as the greatest Monday Night Football game ever. Monday night 9, 6 Pacific.
You know, the Dolphins were involved in 3 of those games.
Not bad.
They were voted on for the greatest ever. I think we lost 2 of them.
2nd and 11. Here comes a blitz off the corner. McNeil trying to get around it, but he can't.
Bassey gets him. He's got some speed. And this has been the guy that's been the thorn in their side is McNeil. And they finally get him down in open field for a loss.
Now here's the dangerous spot for Texas A&M. They've got 3rd down and long coming up. And there's Bassey. He wasn't going to let him go.
Bassey is the guy that replaced Roy Williams. He's more of a corner and he's got the speed of a corner. And it's a good thing he did because I don't think he would have brought him down had he not.
But redshirt freshman out of Garland, Texas.
All right, just don't make a big mistake here.
That's what I was talking about. 3rd down and 17. You don't want to make a misfire here. Because the Sooners could make you pay in a matter of seconds. Throws incomplete. The intended for Terrence Murphy, and it was nowhere near him. And so the Aggies have to give it up with 6:22 left. And another player down, and it's Jamie Hightower, and he goes back down. He's not getting up, the left tackle. There's been some hitting going on today and some collisions and some pileups, and we've lost Ty Warren, and we also lost Brad Davis, offensive lineman for Oklahoma.
Yeah, Hightower 75 is going to get hit from the behind.
There's the
right,
oh boy,
right there.
And
Yeah.
both ankles really buckled the wrong way.
Yeah. That's why all those offensive linemen, a lot of them, most all of them, wear the knee braces all the time, not only in games, but in practice as well.
And you can see he's got the knee braces. Now, there's not much you can do about the ankles, which both turned the wrong way there on that getting rolled up from behind situation. Cody Skates. Remember, he had his longest career punt ever today, 67 yards. He's standing at his own 20-yard line. Better get it away, boy. Strait was coming fast. Good kick. Great kick again. They down it inside the 5 again.
Outstanding.
Sammy Davis.
You talk about special teams, this is what we're talking about. On the average, there's about 35 kicking situations a game. And if you can dominate those kicking situations, this is what we're talking about. Oklahoma having to start from their 2-yard line versus their 20 is huge.
Sammy Davis Jr., the candy man, can and did. Down it at the 2-yard line. And now it's a long way to go after another 64-yard punt. Oklahoma has 98 yards to go, 6 minutes, 12 seconds to do it in, or they can wave bye-bye to the Fiesta Bowl.
That's right. I can't tell you what starting back that far does to an offensive team, and encouraging for your defense.
The lights are on. The fans are up as darkness starts to settle into Aggie land. Sooners have to start in their own end zone. Play action. Hibble's going to go long. Down the middle. It's almost intercepted.
Should have been intercepted.
Terrence Keel was back there, and he didn't hold on to it.
Keel was not fooled. The free safety in the center of the field was not fooled. Here he is here. It's going to be a play action into the line, and he does not bite. Look at him. Back up. The receiver's to the right side. He looks at him and rolls immediately. Hibble doesn't throw it far enough, and the receiver does a nice job of shaking it loose.
That's right. Oklahoma's lucky that they didn't give it up right there. 2nd and 10. And it's Kewan Jones, and he gives him a little bit of room to work as he got it out across the 8-yard line. Pick up a 6.
Bob and Brad, sometimes things happen during the week that have an impact on your team dramatically. Number 43, Gerard Penwright, made a couple of comments challenging his football team and saying they weren't playing very well. Well, he had to go in front of the team and apologize because he said the media took it wrong. It made it look like he was coming down on his players. But he did serve notice. He made everybody stop and think about how they were playing football, what level of intensity. They'd given up scores late in ball games. Today, they plan on not giving it back.
Let's see if they can stop this one. Swanee, 3rd and 4. The hit put on Sammy Davis Jr. Now the spot is important. I think he's a little bit short.
I think he's going to be a little short. And here's a big decision for Bob Stoops. You've got 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes left.
We welcome those of you that have been watching Penn State and Virginia to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, as Oklahoma, the number 2 team in the country, and the number 1 team in the BCS poll this week, has got their hands full. They're down by 4 to Texas A&M with 5 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the ball game. We've had 3 lead changes in the second half. The story for Texas A&M today in our Pacific Life game summary, it's been the Reggie McNeil show. Reggie comes in, the pump fake and the deep ball. Good for a touchdown to Bethel Johnson. He's hit Terrence Murphy twice on long balls today, a 51 and 40, including one right before halftime that really put the Aggies right back in the football game. That one gave them the lead. Oklahoma's battled back, but so have the Aggies. And they now lead 30-26. And number 16 has been the star of the show today.
191 yards passing and 90 yards rushing. 4 touchdowns through the air for McNeil.
About the length of the football short is Oklahoma at its own 11.5-yard line.
What do you do here?
What do you do here? Do you get a chance to even get the ball back if you're Bob Stoops? We know that he's a guy that doesn't mind gambling. This is gambling a season, because if they lose this game, the national championship probably goes by the boards. And they leave the offense in. It's 4th down and less than a yard. The Aggies stop them here, and they might have one of the biggest wins they've had here in a long time.
I cannot think of a worse spot to be in, noise-wise, than down at this closed-in at Kyle Field.
And remember, all day long, for the most part, Oklahoma has gone with a silent count. But this time, Hibble will have to come up under center. 4th down and about 2 feet. The give. Kewan Jones has got a first down, and he almost broke it. Almost broke it open. That's what he does so well. The redshirt freshman out of Jenks High School in Tulsa. And a big, big play there.
Here it is, right up the middle at you. Great blocking up front.
So a first down and room to work out across the 21. 4:40, clock running. Season on the line for the Sooners, who have 2 timeouts remaining.
You know, when a head coach does that, it gives confidence to the players. Trust.
Curtis Fagan's been big for Nate Hibble today, but this one's across the middle, complete. Travis Wilson, a freshman who makes the catch, but he's immediately planted by Randall Webb. They only got about 3 yards out of that. Approaching the 4-minute mark. Savage, who was shaken up about 3 plays ago, is back in there. Peoples and Savage to the left. Fagan to the right with Trent Smith, the tight end, slotted that way. Smith, the motion man. High snap, inside handoff to Quentin Griffin, and he didn't get much. Didn't get much. Griffin over 100 yards on the day, but it's been tough sledding. 22 carries to get there.
Griffin 142 yards.
He's handled it 23 times today, 386 times in a row without putting it on the ground. He doesn't fumble. 3rd down.
Go down here, you got something down below. Comes a blitz.
Griffin. Nope. Didn't get it. Now you got to go on 4th down.
Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator, 3rd down. Calling a blitz. He had single coverage. He took a chance that they weren't going to throw. They wanted to stop the run. Here we go again.
Oklahoma today 1 for 1 on 4th downs. 7 out of 9 on the season. This is a 4th down and a season. 4th and 5. You can barely hear yourself think at Kyle Field. Hibble in the flat. It's deflected. They drop him short of the first down. Ronald Jones with a hit of the day.
They tried a little swing pass to their main man, Griffin, and A&M was all over it. They're in zone coverage. That's just good coverage. Good pass defense.
Threw it out to Ronaldo Works. That was Works out of the backfield, and Jones was all over it.
Oklahoma has 2 timeouts remaining.
At the 25, A&M in command now. Weber just trying to hold on to it. Got hit at the line of scrimmage, no gain. But the clock stops at 2:18. We got a timeout. McNeil has been magnificent today. 191 yards passing and 4 touchdowns and 90 yards on the ground.
Didn't start the game, but certainly is going to finish it.
Boy, is he ever. 2:18 away from an upset are the Aggies of Texas A&M. Play action. McNeil on a bootleg. He'll keep it. Oklahoma will bring him down. Pasha Jackson makes the stop. You think there aren't a few Longhorns in Austin watching this thing? They would probably be the team that would get the biggest boost out of all of this. Reggie McNeil today is the guy that took over in the second quarter and took over the ball game. Hit Terrence Murphy on a 51-yarder. Came back just before the end of the half, going deep, and Porter made a sensational catch with 7 seconds left in the half to tie it up. And Reggie knew he had something special working then. Third quarter, came back, had a big quarterback draw of 33 yards, and then lofts it to the corner. Bethel Johnson for the touchdown. And then off play action, going deep, down the middle. Everidge had fallen down. Murphy took it in again. 4 touchdown passes for Reggie McNeil.
He is outstanding. Been the story, no question. The other time Oklahoma almost got beat this year on the road in Missouri, Brad Smith, the true redshirt freshman, had a big day running the ball, throwing the ball, very similar to what McNeil has done here today.
Dino Babers with some final words to him before he'll send him back out. 3rd down and 9. At the 24-yard line, time running out on the Sooners. They are out of timeouts as well. See if A&M just plays it straight to the middle of the field. They're going to try to throw for it. McNeil, no, he's going to keep it, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
They didn't want to stop the clock. They needed the clock, those seconds to run off of that clock.
And field goal possibility coming up, and if you do that, you got to watch out for Andre Woolfolk. He's the guy that can get up in the middle and stop the possibility of 3. And you know that's going through the Aggies coaches' minds right now, because we don't even have the field goal unit out there yet.
Stranger things have happened. Exactly. Got to make a decision.
Here comes Reggie McNeil, and he's going to wait until the clock runs down before he tells the referee it's timeout time for Texas A&M. So now they've got all that time to come to the sideline, think about it with 1:25 remaining in the ball game. Bob Stoops will come out to meet his troops, and everybody is huddled around the A&M coaches.
If you kick it, it's a 42-yard field goal. Their kicker has not been that solid. I doubt if they're going to try a field goal and give Oklahoma an opportunity to try and block it.
Oklahoma losing at this point. Ohio State survived Purdue.
Barely.
Miami is beating Tennessee in Knoxville, which isn't easy. Texas won big, and that's why I said Texas is the team that has the most to gain by what's going on here if it stays this way. Washington State, in last report, was winning. Georgia plays Ole Miss tonight. Notre Dame won by a touchdown over Navy. Iowa won big over Northwestern. USC playing tonight. Virginia Tech is tied right now. So trying to make sense of the season, and partner, it's getting pretty interesting right now.
Well, it is, and it all is going to take care of itself. You know, the BCS has been criticized back and forth, but it has created a lot of interest in college football, but it'll all take care of itself.
They're going to try a field goal. Todd Pegram, a 43-yarder.
Now they're taking
and they take another timeout.
Now they are downwind. There's no doubt about that.
Bob and Brad, just so that you know, the timeout was called because they were one player short on the field, and so rather than let the play clock run down and have the ball move back, they used up another timeout.
Todd Pegram, by the way, is the first true freshman ever to be a kicker for R.C. Slocum at Texas A&M. As I said this time last year, He's playing soccer in high school. Now, today he's 1 for 1. His career long this season is 43 yards. That's what they've got him lined up for if they choose to kick. But as we said, there aren't too many teams in the country that block kicks better than Oklahoma. And if they do try to kick, the Sooners desperately need one here. And remember, if they do hit the field goal, it's still a touchdown game. And Oklahoma is out of timeouts, but they would still have a crack at it. Remember, Pegram missed an extra point early in the ball game off the right upright. Greg Porter to hold. This is a 43-yarder. And he missed it. He missed it. And Oklahoma's got the chance they needed. 119. There's still life in the Sooners. Do they have the Sooner magic? We'll find out when we come back. 30-26. And Bob, all Oklahoma wanted was another chance. They'd love to have timeouts, but here's their chance.
Well, in college football, timeouts, having no timeouts is not as important if you make a first down, because the clock will stop. If you don't make a first down, the clock will keep running, obviously.
Just outside their own 25. Sooners go to work. Hibble. And whistles blow before that play ever got underway. It's so loud in here that I didn't hear it before the snap. And there you see the delay again.
Now that's a coaching problem on the sideline, because the team came right from the sideline to the line of scrimmage and lined up and play. The official marked the ball ready for play and started the 25-second clock. The team was still on the sideline talking over what they wanted to do.
So now the Sooners are 80 yards away. 1:13 remaining in the ball game.
And you need a touchdown. Field goals don't help.
Let's see if they're going to reset the clock.
Definitely should reset the clock.
1:19.
So we got to put 6 seconds back on. A loss of 5 yards, but the 6 seconds shouldn't go anywhere.
Because there was never a play.
Right. Even though there was a snap, we didn't hear the whistle, and you at home may have been saying, wait a minute, there's a play going on. But that one didn't count. The penalty does.
Oklahoma's got plenty of playmakers. The 22, Griffin, catching the ball out of the backfield or running, and all these other receivers had great speed.
Peoples, Savage, and Fagan are the wideouts. Smith the tight end, and Quentin Griffin joining Hibble in the backfield. Hibble to throw on 1st and 15. Deep sideline route. It's intercepted. Terrence Keel's got it, and the Aggies have got it. They'll win it. The dreams of a national championship might have just gone up in smoke. It'll be only the first loss for Oklahoma. And who knows, maybe the two remaining unbeatens, the two major remaining unbeatens might fall before it's all over. Who knows? But right now, it's going to be one of the sweetest and biggest upsets ever in the history of Aggie football. 3 losses at home this season, but today they stand up.
They said Kyle Field was a tough place to play, but they had lost 3 times here. Peoples doesn't go up to take the ball away from Keel, number 48. He should have went up and at least knocked the ball away. He didn't even make a play on the ball.
R.C. Slocum, so many rumors and so many articles, and can he coach anymore? He's been here 14 years, but what have you done for me lately? I'll tell you what he's done for you lately. He's just pulled off a win over the number 2 team in the country.
He had 3 of his defensive starters out of the game. 3 of his offensive starters out of the game.
This might be the best birthday present he's ever had. 58 on Thursday, up by 4 on Saturday. The Aggies win it. There'll be some margaritas consumed in College Station tonight.
You guys always do. Great job.
Two class coaches shake hands at midfield, and Reggie McNeil becomes a cult figure in his first year in the maroon uniform.
He beat the #1 team in the country.
Quite a core today, on the field and off. Let's go down to Swanee with RC.
Thank you, Brad. Coach, it's got to be a great feeling. Got to be one of the biggest victories for you here at Texas A&M.
Well, it's really fun. We had a bunch of guys injured going this game. We stressed all week with the guys. It'd be the guys on the field that were playing that was important, not the ones who were hurt. I'm really proud of our football team. They hung together. We've had some adversity. They never gave up. We got some fighters, some great characters.
Is that the biggest difference in this team, Coach, the way they play? Just the attitude, what they brought to this game?
We've had a bunch of things that's happened to us this year, but I'm really proud of the character of my coaches and my football team, our fans. This is a great setting here today.
Well, Coach, there's a quarterback of yours I want to talk to right here, Reggie McNeil.
Great job.
I know you're tremendously proud of him. Reggie, 4 touchdown passes this ball game. What was going through your mind when you got behind the center in that first drive?
Basically, I was just doing as I could and give all out for my teammates. It's great. And without them playing right behind me, we wouldn't have got it done today.
People talk about the Oklahoma defense. Bob Griese was talking about what a tremendous challenge it would be for you to have to face this team. How'd you keep your poise?
Through all my life, I just been through anything. I mean, I have a good defense. Like I said, I just have to play the best of my ability and thank God it came out with me.
It's early in your career for this to be the best game of your career, but obviously it is. You're going to have some great games coming down the road. I know you're feeling like you want to be the starter.
If they call on me to be the starter, I'll be it. I mean, but we got 3 other great quarterbacks in Dustin and Mort and Jason Carter. So if the coaches call on me to be the starter, I'll step up to that role.
Congratulations, Ray. Brad?
Well, obviously a little bit of a problem with Swanee's mic. There was nothing wrong with Reggie's game. Today, Chevrolet players of the game. Reggie McNeil, 4 touchdown passes. Quentin Griffin, 141 yards rushing on the day for the Sooners. In recognition of their effort, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Quite a scene at Kyle Field. There have been some big wins, maybe none bigger than this one. We'll be back.
Today poll look going into this Saturday. You see the 3 unbeaten still in contention for the national championship, and Oklahoma going on the road. Texas A&M, a place where they had to escape back in 2000 when they won the title. First quarter, A&M has the ball. Dustin Long, who's played very well for R.C. Slocum's team, that's not his best pass. Picked off by Antonio Perkins, and Long would go 3 for 9, 29 yards, a pick before he ended up getting benched. But Nate Hibble would take advantage, dumping one off to Quentin Griffin, and Q into the end zone. Sooners seem to be rolling at 7-0. But then the freshman, Reggie McNeil, in there for the ineffective Dustin Long. He hits Terrence Murphy.
Well, you just see the poise here. The offensive line give him plenty of time, goes to his second wide receiver. Beautiful pass and a nice catch.
And Murphy would house that baby, missed the point after. It's 10-6. Second quarter, OU's added a field goal and more from the freshman, who predicted he would be starting by midseason. And boy, he's making good. Look at that protection. Beautiful throw to Greg Porter. McNeil 4 of 6, buck 26, couple of touchdowns in the first half. We're tied up at 13. The OU defense beaten all day in the pass mark.
And this is why Reggie McNeil at the quarterback position. He throws the ball deep and effectively. We're going to take another look at it. This is to Bethel Page. Look at the eyes of Derek Strait, the defender. He's looking in the offensive backfield, not the wide receiver. This is why Bethel Page blows by him and smokes him for the touchdown.
Bethel Johnson making the play in the catch. Look at the OU defense, the yardage. They gave up 404 total yards allowed, well over 100 yards per game more than their average. But Oklahoma's offense continued to make plays. Down by 7. Hibble, Curtis Fagan, I mean, he never broke stride for a second. 68 yards. Hibble threw for 249 and a couple of touchdowns. And a 23-20 game, McNeil with the poise. Murphy again getting the safeties to suck up and sneaking behind them. 27-23 A&M. Now 4th and inches from their own 12. Stoops, that's a call from the coach with a big long-term contract right there. Kejuan Jones gets the first down. Later in the drive, another 4th down. Remember the plays that Ronaldo Works made against Alabama to save them? Not here, not with Ronald Jones around. A&M takes over on downs, but then A&M would try to stretch the lead. Todd Pegram, wide right, so OU's got one more chance, and Hibble's going to throw it up, and the wrecking crew shows up in the person of Terrence Keel.
Yeah, just a nice interception here. They got a little pressure. He had to get rid of the football. Double coverage there. They come up with the interception, and a huge win for Texas A&M.
Dave Hibble, Bob Stoops, and company, they go on the road to College Station, and R.C. Slocum, maligned in some quarters, perhaps unfairly so, gets a huge win. A&M with its 6th. They're even up in the Big 12, and R.C. pleased afterwards.
I'm really proud of our football team. They hung together. We've had some adversity. They never gave up. We got some fighters, some great characters. We've had a bunch of things that's happened to us this year, but I'm really proud of the character of my coaches and my football team, our fans. This is a great setting here today.
In contention for the national championship. One of the interesting things when the polls come out to see how badly this loss really hurts Oklahoma. It's sort of hard to imagine they would be ranked below Texas at the end.
Well, I would never rank them below Texas. I mean, they beat Texas. I mean, Texas hadn't beat this team forever. But Oklahoma, the bottom line for me is offensively, no problem, still played okay. They scored enough points to win. The shocking thing to me was Oklahoma's defense. We've talked, Mark, about their defense and how good they are and how they fly around. I thought they had the very lack of a pass rush today. I thought their DBs got beat. They sucked up, didn't play well defensively at all.
Well, the 2 undefeated teams, to me, the most unimpressive team was Ohio State, the way that they played today against a 5-loss Purdue team today. And I'll tell you what, if you look at the top 5, the undefeated teams, Miami, Ohio State, obviously they should be ranked 1 and 2. But the remaining top 5, if you look at it, it's Texas, Oklahoma, Washington State in my mind. This is my opinion as an analyst. If Miami were to play the remaining 4 opponents in the top 5, they would go undefeated 4-0. If Ohio State played the remaining 4 opponents in the top 5, they would go 0-4. Now, wait a minute. They did play Washington State earlier this year, and they beat Washington State. But in my opinion, if they play Washington State tomorrow, Washington State's a better football team. Washington State beats Ohio State, my opinion.
As this thing's starting to, unravel here, and we're going to have those 2 undefeated teams, if it's going to be Miami and Ohio State, I think clearly most people would say Miami would blow out Ohio State. I mean, in my opinion, the athletes that are on the field. But I mean, in my opinion right now, yes. I mean, you have Miami number 1, Ohio State number 2. I think Oklahoma's still the 3rd best team in college football. They should be ranked number 3.
You know, the one thing about Ohio State, people keep talking about how impressive or unimpressive they've been. Harken back 10 years ago, a lot of people were sort of matching Alabama up in the same way against Miami. They have no chance. They always win ugly. Ohio State's doing many of the same things. Alabama.
They got it done. You have to give them credit.
They did win. I do give them credit. They're undefeated. I do give them credit. They are undefeated.
You're absolutely right. And
weeks ago, unanimous number 1. We come full circle after all the fuss, back to unanimous because Oklahoma lost, and they have no excuses. Bob Stoops thought his team well prepared, well focused for A&M. They knew what they were in for, couldn't get it done.
You got to give Coach R.C. Slocum of Texas A&M and his staff a lot of credit. They really had a well-prepared game plan. Oklahoma got torched by the freshman quarterback Reggie McNeil for 4 touchdowns. Slocum, McNeil, sounds like a good combination of Texas A&M for me for a lot of years.
For at least a few more years. RC, that was a big win for him and his program in protecting home turf. How about Ohio State going on the road? Talked about it all week. This would be maybe their toughest challenge because they haven't played well on the road. Conservative offense, 94 yards rushing for Ohio State in the whole game. Then 4th and 1, they throw out the conservative book, go for it all, and it could be the play of the year for Ohio State, maybe one of the plays of the year in all college football. But conservative play calling again next week on the road could cost them. They need to open up that offense.
We've talked about it. The Buckeyes are Alabama 92.
Yeah.
Great defense, conservative. Once in a while, make a play. By the way, that team, they played Miami in the championship.
What happened?
Just thought I'd mention it. They did beat them, I think. All right.
They hammer Tennessee. Different story for Oklahoma on the road against Texas A&M. The freshman, Reggie McNeil, 280 yards of total offense. Terrence Murphy for the score there. And OU's last gasp snuffed out by the wrecking crew. Terrence Keel, A&M upsets OU 30-26. Ohio State also.
Heisman candidate. You go with Iowa. Brad Banks, the quarterback, also a candidate. Chris Sims doing better. Texas is sneaking up there. Ohio State, obviously, against the #1 football team in my mind, Miami, with Ken Dorsey, in my opinion, the Heisman Trophy winner, leading them.
And he's the leading candidate right now. He's
mine.
Great leadership. Texas-Oklahoma debate with Oklahoma losing. I know Oklahoma beat Texas, but for me, what have you done for me lately? I have Texas up at number 5. I have Iowa continuing to look impressive on both sides of the ball up at number 4. Washington State, as Lee said, Jason Gesser getting it done, and Mike Price is Texas team playing with a lot of confidence on both sides. Ohio State, they got by today, winning on the road, very conservative on offense, but found a way. But let's be honest. Let's separate all these teams. There's one team right now, all by themselves, the way they've played today.
Underlined.
The Miami Hurricanes, underline, exclamation point, exclamation point. The Hurricanes are the #1 team in the country.
You guys,
enough of the debate.
You watched, but you did know that. I mean, Oklahoma beat Texas because you're both at that game.
Yeah, I was there.
And you got Texas above them.
I had Texas at 5.
All right.
too.
He had them 3.
I got Miami, Ohio State, Washington State, Iowa, OU 5,
up there. Watch
Texas
out.
6.
We love those guys, but I think we saw the OU-Texas game on TV too, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know. Teams play and one wins. The one that won is better, right?
There can be exceptions.
If they play 5 times, they win all 5.
Well, there can be exceptions there. You know what? We ask you to log on and vote